Alrighty, we are live for the VFL Richmond versus Geelong clash for this beautiful, beautiful Sunday day. Hope you're all doing well from wherever you are, and hopefully everyone's recovered a little bit after yesterday's loss, which, wasn't great, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We will learn from it, and we will keep getting better. And yeah, hopefully today in the VFL we can see some young Cubs strut their stuff. Obviously, we've got Josh Gibcus back, which is awesome. He'll be on limited minutes. And we've got HOTTON out there for his third game, I think it is. Hopefully third and final, but we'll have to wait and see how that pans out as well. But very exciting to see him out there, and even Jaden Short to that extent too. I'm fascinated to see how we play and how we utilise Jaden Short today, because the spot that he would typically be playing isn't currently available for his taking at the moment. So it's going to be really interesting to see where we play him in the VFL. Skadoosh, welcome. What's going on? Oh no, the Lawler one shit. Very frustrating. I don't think anything else has come out from the club just yet on it. But yeah, obviously pretty grim with what it all looked like. So that's, to me, that season ending. I don't think we even bothered trying to get him back for this year. It seems a bit of a waste of time. So we'll no doubt wrap up in cotton wool. What will be interesting is if we try and send him away overseas. Do you get the calf's blood or whatever it is, whatever Dylan Grimes did? I'm sure there's going to be a few different things on the cards that they can look at doing. Michelle, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Flip, welcome. Hope you're doing well. The kids are my lights, not wins. I know. Heartbreaking is the correct word. That is the correct word. And I guess it automatically brings into question about the recovery and did we rush him and all that kind of stuff. Based on what Uze was saying post-game, and you can only take him at their word, I guess, it really did sound like that we could have left him out for 15 weeks and he still would have done it the same way. Kind of like Hayden Young with that certain tackle motion and the way the legs and everything kind of moved. It just seemed like that it was just a really, really, really shit, unlucky incident. I think I would have been, assuming that's all true, that it's just the action more than anything, I'd be more concerned if he was to redo it just while running in a straight line, chasing a ball or chasing an opponent. If it's because of the mechanisms or whatever that made it go, then I think we just have to live with that and get him better and get him back out there next year. But yeah, Darren, put him in cotton wool. I think that's going to be best for everybody involved, unfortunately. And to your second point, get a pre-season into him, like we always spoke about. He hasn't actually done a proper AFL pre-season yet, so he obviously did bulk of it this year, and he'll get a big training load on the lead into to the start of pre-season, I'm guessing. So get him right and then roll him out for round one next year. The Brownlow next season, yeah, you'd love to see that though, wouldn't you? That'd be unbelievable. Rioli was good yesterday, Skadoosh. I was really, really happy with him. Look, obviously not the circumstances you want him to come onto the ground with, but he did make the most of his opportunities. And I know the talk is now about we want to see it more consistently at AFL level, and I think that's a fair enough comment. But it was just nice to see what we could see his VFL form look like actually transition into AFL, even though he wasn't in centre bounce attendances. He was up around stoppages, pushing deeper up the ground, which is what he does as well at the VFL. And he was able to accumulate. He was able to break lines. He was able to hit targets. He was able to still chase and pressure. And I thought Morris, put up a really good game. That I think easily the best for the club. And look, maybe I'm showing a little bit of blind faith, but I really do believe that if we keep him in that role, engaged in the play up the ground, I really do think that will be his norm. We'll see consistent numbers like that. Maybe in the infant stage, we might see some ups and downs as he gets used to it at AFL level. But I think on the whole, I reckon that's going to be where his best footy is played, up and around contests, not playing as a deep small forward. It just does not work for him. Just doesn't work. Agreed, James Racing. How are you, mate? Lola, day one of pre-season's the aim. I think that is what we need to be aiming at. And it sucks because it's a long way away. But it means he's got plenty of time to recover. There's no rush. And look, the only thing I hope it doesn't do, I just hope that it doesn't pull into question, I suppose, people's thoughts and feelings on the other draftees. Like, I don't think, like, even though it's really annoying that he did what he did, I don't think we should be spooked by it. I wouldn't not be putting in Hotton. I wouldn't not be putting in Gibcus or Short or whoever. If their form's permitting and they've ticked the boxes, I just wouldn't not be doing it because of that one incident. You gotta still roll with the punches, I think, and get them out there. But is that right? 2 minutes past the Rising Star, yeah. I mean, he would have been a good shout for it next year if he was able to play next year. Oh, sorry, if he was able to be qualified for next year. Darren, next year super exciting. Lawler, Hotton, Smiley, Gibcus all back, and hopefully getting a decent long run at the AFL level. Yeah, exactly. And there's plenty to like, isn't there? I mean, I know the results, the margins aren't fantastic. It's not what we like to see as supporters, but I think a lot of people do have the element of understanding of where we're at, and that sometimes these types of losses, and we're playing against a good side, so it wasn't like it was out of the question. It was pretty well predicted. But it's how we learn and grow. I mean, when we're talking about the same time next year, we definitely want to see some improvements along the way. But today we had a chance to see some VFL boys running around, and hopefully we see some good signs. And at least it's on a AFL standard playing field, which is nice too. What's everyone's predictions for today? Not so much margin, but what are you predicting or hoping for Hotton, for Gibcus, for Jaden Short? Feel free to let us know what you're all wanting to see from him. Yes, good. Jonty did look better. I'm really glad that he got that goal. He was toiling away for a while, and he obviously missed an easy one or two, but to finally get that other one, it's done him the world of good. So hopefully he can kick on from that. You'd love to see him get like 3 or 4 goals in a game, wouldn't you? So my prediction, I've got Taj Hotton for 18 disposals and 1 goal. So I'm backing Taj to have a big one. I know there was a bit of talk about his game last week only being against the Bull Ants, who did win actually the other day. So well done to the Bull Ants. But yeah, I reckon we'll see him do another good game, and yeah, hopefully we'll see him carry on from there. Gibbo and Hot. So I'm interested to see how many games Gibbo plays. Remember the VFL ground swings and roundabouts. Yeah, exactly right. Lawler back VFL next time. Yeah, it's an interesting one, Zarzod, because I think there's definitely an argument to be had about should he have had VFL minutes. I think I might have even flagged on Twitter at one point and got smashed for it, saying he doesn't deserve to play VFL. He's like Dusty. And I get from a talent perspective, you don't want him playing VFL, but I'm just from a conditioning perspective, making sure the workload is sustainable through his leg. And it's really hard because if the hamstring he did yesterday was just sheer bad luck based on the tackle movement and the leg motion that could have been, it was unavoidable, then it is what it is. But if there's any way to avoid it, then yeah, maybe it's doing some VFL time. But the game's about to start at the VFL. I'll put a timer up. If your game started, hit pause on your screen so we can sync up. The umpire is about to bounce the ball. Is that Taj in the middle? In 3, 2, 1. We are underway. I've remembered the clock. Taj Hotton's in at the CBA. That's what you'll love to see straight off the bat. Very nice surprise there, seeing Taj in the middle. That's a good little progressive step forward as Hayes Brown's in the ruck again. Hopefully, wouldn't it be nice if Hayes Brown could have another big game? That game last week, he was taking the piss, wasn't he? It was a bit of a mismatch in a lot of ways, but it was still good to see. Yeah, I'm not sure, Corey, how it compares to other clubs. I mean, every club's got their issues. Like, hamstrings are prevalent throughout the whole competition, so it's definitely not exclusive to us. And that one seemed like it was a really unfortunate one, similar to Lafau with his calf, just very unfortunate. I don't think it was at all related. Like the club are trying to do the right thing by leaving these players out for a little bit longer before unleashing him or unleashing them at AFL level or VFL level and so on and so forth. So I think a little bit of it's just luck or lack of. As Cozzy do we know if do we know if Gibcus is playing from the first quarter? We obviously remember Taj Hotton didn't play the first quarter on his return. So I'm wondering if Gibbo might be the same. And Jaden Short is playing at halfback currently, which is interesting. Damien's gone for Hotton, 2 goals, 30 touches. I like it. A loves Hayes Brown. Shorty for his first disposal. Pumps it forward inside 50. Yeah, I'm all for Hayes Brown getting a game at some point this year. I guess there's a bit of a case to be made. Is it maybe against Essendon, depending on how today goes? So to Darren's point, if Hayes Brown goes okay again today, do we roll him out for the Bombers? It's an interesting point because we obviously lose Bolter, and we need another forward to step up. And if we want to keep Miller and Blight down back as a pairing, then it probably becomes a conversation about if Bauer steps up today. Kazitsky may even get a look in today to play forward, just from an experienced body perspective. What a shit kick from Eleanor that was. My goodness, what was he looking at? And yeah, Hayes Brown could be another one that may play forward and rotate in the ruck, but then you've got Sims doing that too. So it's a really tricky one. So this is why these VFL games are good, because there's a lot on the line for players. Even players like Trezise today, Caleb Smith to a lesser example, these guys all may have opportunities coming up with, I think Elgar might be a chance to miss with his foot. Oh, Gibcus. He's out there. There we go. First touch for Josh Gibcus. Takes a mark, gets a little 55-metre kick down the line. Love to see it. Well done, Gibbo. Smiley, do you think he comes straight into the AFL? Yeah, I don't know. I was probably in favour of it up until recently, but now I'm really not too sure. It probably wouldn't be wise, would it? Like, I think he's going to have shed the weight and he's trimmed up and a lot leaner. I think we'll see him play AFL at some point this year, though. It's just a matter of when. Shorty and Pharrell Smith, that does seem like a logical one, super. Although Trezise, I would argue, could put his hand up as well. Trezise has probably got a few more runs on the board as the Cats kick the first goal of the game. But yeah, I would say that Trezise has got a bit more runs on the board in recent times, depending on how Shorty goes today. But that could be a replacement. If it means that Jaden Short plays on the wing, that's okay too. Wing or half forward. But he is playing in the back line here. Which is, yeah. Like, there's a part of me that thinks that if at AFL level that we were thinking he was maybe going to play as a wingman or a half forward, that maybe we would play him there today just to see what that looks like and how that feels for him and for us. But they're obviously got him at half back. Darren says, Nank and Hayes Brown should take Goldstein to the cleaners. I'll be happy to see Sims just play straight key forward. That's an interesting point, Darren. Interesting point. It's funny because last time we played the Bombers, we obviously felt we were a good chance to win, but we were without, I think we had no Bolter. We didn't have Nankervis either, remember? We didn't have Nank. And we had still Samson Ryan as Tar Shotton gets his first disposal. Nice little handball. It was Samson Ryan against Goldstein, and he had his colours lowered a little bit. He broke even on a couple of instances, but probably should have dominated a bit more. But yeah, you would think that Nankervis would be... Oh, Trezise, good mark. You would think that Nankervis should have Goldstein's measure across 4 quarters. Oh, Shorty, that's not a great kick. Good tackle, Eleanor. Well done. Great second effort. That's awesome. You love to see it. Oh my God, we're taking some dangerous kicks here. Oh, Gibcus is spreading out wide here. Give it the overlap. Give him the ball. I think Trezise will. He'll release him. Oh, wrong way. Here he is, Gibcus, pushing down half forward. Just a cheeky run down the field. Shocking kick inside 50, but it's hit Steely Green on the chest. I'm about 90% sure that's not where the ball or who the ball is meant to go to from Gibcus, but he's hit a 450 target, and Steely Green gets a chance to hit the scoreboard. And he needs to do this. This has been the part of his game that's lacking. Like, that mark he took then, we don't see that happen at AFL level, him leading up and taking a mark. He needs to get more dangerous if he wants to get back into the side for me. And Steely strolls in and gets the first for the day for the Tigers. Steely Green on the board after a Josh Gibcus inside 50 of some type, but it it results in a goal. It results in a goal. Seen enough bench, Gibbo. Super. Do rate Trezise as a winger, but would be curious to see if Shorty could give us something different there. I agree, Super. I agree. I think with Shorty, there's a little bit to see there. I think we're going to be a little bit creative. Like, it would be criminal if we gave him Banks' spot. And I think Tom Brown's doing okay down there too. So I think we do have to see a new variation, of what that looks like. Bolter on a wing. I mean, Dean, I think we have to be prepared to try anything. Like, no idea is a bad idea. Steely Green in the midfield here as well, which is interesting. Gets a tackle. So maybe Steely Green swapping with Tash Hotton between half forward and centre. But to Bolter on the wing, I mean, he's definitely, I think, got the athleticism. And I actually think it might suit him playing a bit more of a chaotic brand of football. Like I've always said, I think that Bolter plays better on instinct and chaos rather than structure and having a deliberate plan of action. Oh, Hayes Brown, front and centre, the big man. Uncharted territory. No good with the kick, though. Razzo fighting at ground level there. Good pick up. Nah, we're not in front, though. It was that Bauer playing behind. Not the spot to stand. But, yeah, I mean, look, Bolter up forward I didn't think was so... Well, that's a good spoil. I don't think that was so bad. As Bauer picks it up, he's got to get the handball out. Unlucky. But yeah, like, it's a makeshift four line at the moment. Do you try, like, because when Gibcus ends up getting enough games into him and he comes back in, we have to find a way to fit Miller, Bolter, Gibcus, Blight if he's still playing. And then Campbell Gray's going to be looming as well as another one who looked good at the level. So yeah, we might have to throw a few magnets around. Is it pretty well live? Is it Jones Racing? That's nice. I'll say I meant it. I'll say we meant it. Hayes Brown. Good tap. Oh, shit. Lockie Wilson, what a goal. That's a great kick. Something out of nothing from stoppage. Nice little tap from Hayes Brown, but Lockie Wilson, that's a ripper goal. He's had a good couple of weeks, actually. It'd be interesting to see who's second rucks here. Hayes Brown's heading to the bench. We've obviously got no Kalina, no Ryan, no Fawcett, no Lafau. So I wonder who's going into the middle to ruck then. I swear to God, if Josh Gibcus goes in there. So we've got Taj Hotton in there. Does Kazitsky ruck? Who's rucking? Who's 66? Sam Flockhart. Not sure he's a ruckman. Yeah, no, he's not a ruckman. That's a big mismatch. I suppose that's a bit of a byproduct of missing a few ruckmen, but Flockhart is not a ruckman, I wouldn't have thought. There's Gibcus's man. Geez, that's really hard to say quickly. Gets on the lead and takes a mark. Not sure how I feel about this ruck setup. Because they've lost the ability to throw Blight in there too. He's rucked today. He's gone full Sean Grigg here, Flockhart. Another goal for the Cats. We're all tied up. Bit of a shootout early. Yeah, Mark, it is good to see Gibcus out there. Would have been nice if we got that spoil in, but no, good to see him out there. I'm guessing he's playing a half spread out across 3 quarters or whatever it might be. And then just see how he pulls up, I suppose. No, they've definitely got no one else out there to ruck. So our midfielders have to be onto this because the Cats ruck should be able to get first hands to the ball 9.9 times out of 10. So our guys need to be aware of that and try and rove accordingly. We still got. I like that Taj Hotton's still in there. Oh God, it's set up Flockhart sitting under the ball, which is not nice. Good tackles. Oh, nice little hit out there. We go inside 50. Who's home? Yeah, Grock might even be at the game today, potentially. He did say he was going to try and get down to this one. I think he was hoping to go to the AFL too, but they were asking, it was like $90 a ticket. Like, who's paying $90 a ticket? That seems crazy. Is that what general admin is at most grounds these days? Like, I don't remember the last time I've bought general admin for a footy game, but is that what the going rate is? 90? Billy, going well, thanks, mate, yourself. It just seemed very excessive, that price point, $90 yesterday for an AFL game. That's close to holding the ball, I would have thought. Oh. Taj is just lurking around the stoppages here. We need to get the ball into his hands. Give it to him. There we are. Oh, nice handball. High fend off, was it? Ticketmaster doing... Okay. That's so shit for $90, though. Whereas the G for level 1 on the wing would be... Is that right? 75. Wow. That's crazy. Like, yeah, I mean, I've just always had a membership, so I didn't sort of ever really take notice of the gate prices. That's madness. No wonder families can't go. Because even memberships are ultra expensive, aren't they? Like, depending on what package you've got, it can be anywhere from like $350 to almost $900, depending if you've got home and away and if you've got reserve seating on level 1, level 2, whatever it might be. You know, if you times that by 4 for a family, that makes it difficult. And then to hear those prices just to be able to get into a game, if you don't want a membership, it seems near on impossible, doesn't it? Yeah, members own most seats. So it's also, yeah, not. How many tickets would you say are available typically to opposition clubs each game down there, do you reckon? Does it vary depending on opponent? Or is it sort of the same no matter what? That's got to be holding the ball. He's just backed into traffic. Not sure Shorty laid that tackle, but... Billy, I got a front row seat at Adelaide game for $15. How'd you do that, Billy? Well played. Oh, Razo. Got to commit there. Rogue, it cost me $63 to take a guest into AFL reserve, includes reserve seat. That's a lot, isn't it? $63. I had no idea they were that high these days. And we got 3K seats for the Geelong game. Oh, Taj. Little cheeky handball. And they wonder why the AFL won't give him finals. He's got pace. Yassine, he's shit the kick, though. Horrible kick. Some good bounces, but no one presented to him at all. Surely someone had to lead up there. Yeah, I suppose the kids do typically get in for free, depending on age, which is also handy. They got, obviously, promos like this month. I'm pretty sure his kids go free as well, which is good. Give it the Taj. There he is. Yeah, free kick the Taj. Oh, no. Damn, I heard the commentator say free kick, and I got excited because he had the football. Oh. Give it back to him. Oh, that's too high. Umpire was blindsided, then he actually missed that high tackle. Taj is doing some nice things in close. He's already got 4 tackles just quietly in the first quarter. Taj with another handball. Wouldn't mind him getting into some space and getting a shot. Jones Racing, it's been suggested that they allocate a decent amount to opposition fans. They laugh, so they get what they deserve. Re big games. 100%, mate. 100%. Oh, we've gone forward. Oh, Hayes Brown. Oh, McDonald. It's a great tackle. Yeah, they want to have all the big games there, and they keep expanding the stadium. But if they want finals, it has to be close to a 50-50 split, doesn't it? Is that the rule? I'm not sure if there's actually a ruling. It's in the back, surely. Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's actually a specific ruling on what the ticket allocation should look like for finals, but surely it's got to be closer to 50-50, not bloody 3K. That seems a bit ridiculous. Tubby says, away members... What was that free kick for? Away members get first priority, and then Geelong members can sell their seats back to the club if they can't. Okay, if they can't go, right. Yeah, it's interesting. End of the day, if they want big games, they've got to let more people in. It's as simple as that, isn't it? Oh, he's done well to get a kick away there, the Geelong player. Taj trying to beat Atkins 15 tackles. I know. Oh, that's a dangerous kick from Wilson. Young made it work, but the Cats have got outlets. Oh, that swung. Wow. That was never looking like going in until it went in. That looked horrible. Horrible. Taj trying to beat Atkins 15 tackles from last night. He's on 4 at the moment. 4 tackles, a clearance, 6 disposals, all handballs, but they've all been okay handballs. Hot and Silk AF, skadoosh. So Grok, he actually joined me on Thursday night last week, and we spoke a bit about the game plan. Hopefully he's back on Monday. He's just had a couple of migraines and stuff, and end of month stuff for work that gets him a bit snowed under. So hopefully he's back on Monday, eh? But yeah, we'll try and get him on other times as well if he can't make the Monday night show. It did, Mark. That ball did defy physics. That was not going in at all until it just warped to the right very, very late in the piece. We're back in the middle though. Hayes Brown, Steely Green in the midfield again. How do we feel about Steely Green in the midfield? Umpire off the play called that. Yeah, Gibcus minutes will be managed, Billy, for sure. He was on before and he's already been off. I'm not sure if he's come back out onto the ground yet. I would expect Shorty to play bulk minutes. I don't think he'll... Maybe they'll be somewhat managed, but not as much as Gibcus, I wouldn't have thought. Oh, nice Mark Bauer. Get off him. Oh, we've got... Nice kick. Oh, someone's got to hold it, though. Jeez, we've absolutely butched a chance there. That should have been taken as a mark for sure. Yeah, Steely just needs to get a bit of confidence. Oh, Hayes Brown to give me a free kick. Got to stop doing that, mate. But I think Steely playing in the midfield will hopefully be good just to get his hands on the footy a bit more. Demolish the ground. Yeah, Trader Elnor definitely, I think, deserves a spot somewhere. I've said this before, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be on our list. I really don't think we've got... I don't think we've got the spot for him. But yeah, there has to be an AFL club out there with a need to get someone like him on there. He reads the ball well. Disposal's typically okay, but he just shows some solid AFL traits. I was really surprised he didn't go in the mid-season draft somewhere. I think, Rogue, if we elevated Elnor, I'm just not sure whether he'd get a crack in our AFL team, though, is the only thing. Like, he might just be an AFL-listed player playing as an AFL-listed player, but playing VFL, because there's a lot of players in front of him at the moment in our senior side. Oh, he's given away a free kick. Whoa. Jeez, that was harsh. Oh, the wraparound handball off one step. Gibcus is back out there. Good coverage. Shorty. Is that Shorty? Well done. I really hope Steely does come on. Steely 3 players up. Yeah, no one got fist on the ball. Luckily, Jaden Short was goalkeeping in defence there. And like with Steely Green, the half forward position or forward pocket position, it's such a hard spot to play well in an AFL level. And with how we're functioning as a side currently, we're definitely not giving anyone who plays in that position a chance to excel. And that's why I keep banging on about it being so important. That's a shocking kick by Jaden Short. That's why I think it's so important that anyone who's playing half forward, whether it's Morris Jr., Steph Campbell, Steely Green, whoever it might be, it's important that we get them up the ground and around contests too to get touch, because otherwise they just go cold and don't get near the footy for a quarter and a bit because we're just not at that level yet. And we just sort of leave Steely and whoever else as deep forwards, and they get nowhere near it. So seeing him in the midfield today is a good sign. It's going to be good for him to get his hands on the footy, I think. Oh my gosh, free kicks being given away everywhere. Yeah, hey Black Ray, how are you, mates? I think I've missed it behind somewhere along the line here, haven't I? 18, yeah. Not sure if that was a free kick, was it? Cats have converted again. I've got no idea where they've pulled the last few from. I think, yeah, they've just been some interesting decisions with some of those free kicks. And still he gets his tank up and going. You reckon he'll be as good as Seth Campbell? That's a big call, Billy. That's a huge call. I hope so. Like, I'd love to see him make it. He's got a fair bit of competition for spots, though, doesn't he? It feels like that, doesn't it, Brandon? About 10 free kicks in a row. Like, what's happening? Good to know it's free kick Geelong at all levels, Trouter. Nice. I thought the two boys that went for the contest there, I think it might have been Trezise and Hotton, actually spoiled the ball. Oh, we're back in the middle. Snack back with a little tap down. That's going to be holding the ball. There we go. As long as they're paying it both ways all day, that's... Oh, Gibcus worked him under, but no love. Oh my gosh. What is happening? Yeah, Gok will be yelling abuse out for sure. Does it give us free kick stats on the AFL website? 8-6. I'm surprised that we've had 6. Oh, Hayes Brown marked that. He could have grabbed it. Why didn't you mark it? Why didn't you mark it? Yeah, I know, Super. It's a bit frustrating, isn't it? Like I said, it was good to see a few of the boys push up around stoppages around the ground, but still no variation to the centre bounce attendances whatsoever. Still Prestia, Taranto, oh my God, Hopper, and Ross. So I think Geelong used 6 players yesterday. We used 4. In terms of midfield, I'm not including Ruckman. I just think we need to be spreading the workload and getting some experience elsewhere. Like I said, I feel bad saying it every week, but I just don't know why we aren't doing it. Who should I put the captain on Supercoach, Jordan Dawson or Christian Petrarca? Or I would probably go I would probably go Jordan Dawson over Petrarca, I reckon. Dawson, I think I've said this before, he's one of the best last quarter footballers I reckon I've ever seen. When the game's on the line, he tends to just play super well in the last. As we get form, it's less obvious. Geelong have got their own cotton on us out there. Another behind for the catch. Gee, we're kind of out of sorts a bit here, aren't we? Nah, not a bourbon and coke at the moment, eh? Just a little cheeky mocha satchel. Old Woolies home delivery this morning. I'll go to the pocket play. A little switch. Go Trezise. Yep, turn and go. Good boy. Oh, Flockhart, the makeshift ruckman. Had to take that. Oh, jeez, that was very close to being 50, I reckon. Gibcus, good spoil. Oh, was it though? It didn't go over the boundary line. Oh, sold candy. Gibcus barrels him over. That's a point. Jonathan sent an email to the club this morning on CBA with a snip of the stats from the last 2 games asking WTF. Look, I would say it's highly unlikely you'll get a response. And this is where, like, I've been enjoying the Thursday afternoon press conferences. I like that we can now hear the questions from the journos to Uze, but the journos there, I still don't think are asking the right type of question. Like they're not asking the Richmond specific type question that we want to know as supporters because they don't understand what we understand or they don't want to know what we want to know. It's always about like the obvious ones with Lynch and Bolter and what that all looks like, which is wonderful. But yeah, we want to know about the centre bounce mix up. A player's going to get more opportunity. So yeah, hopefully we can find some answers on that. I'll have to wander down there on a Thursday and ask it myself. It's almost getting to that stage. Gibcus has done okay. Leo got a couple of spoils in. We're giving away free kicks left, right, and centre here. Hotton had a really good start. He was on, where is he? 6 disposals, 4 tackles, 1 clearance. He's been off for the last little bit. But yeah, he was getting some little handballs. And Jaden Short has been finding the ball. He's on 10 touches, 6 marks. He's had a couple of iffy kicks, but he's doing some kick-out duty as well. He's playing at half-back, which is interesting. Watch that be a dangerous... Oh, so that could have almost been holding the ball. No, so Woolworths did a better delivery, Jones Racing, this morning. They actually left all the bags of the groceries set back a little bit, so that was nice. We could actually open the door and pick them up and carry them in without having to be MacGyver trying to push a bag back to open the front door. So that was good. Oh, Razzo. Oh, Yassine's just been mowed down. That's a good tackle. Oh, that's some big last games against the Crows. I can see why that would be tempting. My only thing is like, is Petrarca going to be the same Petrarca? I don't know. I just feel like with the kidney injury or whatever it was, I'm just not sure. Cosy, well done. If he's ever going to be the same on a consistent level. And I also just think that at the moment, I think Adelaide is playing far better football than Melbourne. So I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a tough one because, like, you know, the stats and the data you got there definitely suggest Petrarca's worth a shout, doesn't it? Do you desperately need your captain to score well to win, or are you in a comfortable position otherwise? That could play a part too. How is that not going to not be holding the ball? How is he not going to reward it? It's the exact same thing that happened in the middle of the ground and we got pinged for it. What is happening with the inconsistency of free kicks? And they wonder why players get pissed off and why supporters get frustrated. Because he did very well there, Trouter. He was actually very good. 1 on 3, and was able just to keep the ball in front. You got Luke Jackson. What did he score? So you could loophole Luke Jackson. I know, they're getting all the calls here, Grey State. John Ruff is Richmond man. I suppose John Ruff, I believe, is Richmond, but I don't think he's at those Thursday morning, afternoon press conferences. So it's yeah, we don't really get the chance to hear any line of questioning from him on that front. 100% it was unrewarded, Shane. Agree. Oh, Jackson. Oh, Freo today, are they? Who have they got? I reckon you still leave it between Petrarca and Jordan Dawson. Scout umpire bets. Well, that's the first quarter in the books. Yeah, score's not going our way. We just sort of struggled in that second half of the quarter. We just couldn't get it forward to centre. And the Cats definitely got some favourable decisions down their end, but Jaden Short leading the way on 11 disposals, 6 marks, 1 tackle. Obviously, he's taken some kick-outs, so that kind of pads the stats a little bit, but he hasn't been damaging, but he's getting the footy. It's a really hard one to gauge when they're taking kick-outs, isn't it? Tyler Young, 6 disposals, 4 marks. Lockie Wilson, 6 disposals. Trezai, 6 touches, 4 marks. Caleb Smith, 6 touches, 3 marks. Taj Hotton, 6 disposals, 4 tackles, 1 clearance. Cozzy, 4 tackles. Razzo, 4 tackles. Cozzy, 4 disposals, not 4 tackles. My goodness. Gibcus, 2 touches, 1 tackle, 1 mark. Bauer, 2 disposals. And we've got a few on individual numbers, but not a great first quarter, if I'm being honest. A bit lackluster. We started okay, but then just kind of lost our way in our shape as it went on. Quarter 2. We'll try and remember the timer. Get Mitch Nevin to the AFL team. Would he add anything though, do you reckon? Yeah, we'll get Grok to streak out there. I'm pretty sure he's going to go today. We should try a poll of some kind. Where are we? Okay, let's start a poll. Oops. All right, so the poll's going to be about Jaden Short when he comes back. Because, look, he's getting enough disposals to suggest that they're probably going to pick him in the next week for seniors. But do we think that Jaden Short will come in and play half back, or will he play wing / half forward? It will be very interesting to see what they do with him. Yeah, that's why it's a bit tricky to get a gauge in the J Tiger on how meaningful some of the stats are back there. I mean, it's good he's getting the footy, but you want him to be a bit more aggressive and damaging. It's a tricky one. Flip a coin, Sid. Or we can put it in a poll in chat, and then whatever the poll result is, you got to go for your Supercoach captain. I haven't played many video games for a little while, Sid. It's just been flat out here. We've had a bit of a crook household over the last month and a bit. Work, the Tigercast stuff. It's all been a bit hectic. But I'll sometimes try and play some offline games when I can. But yeah, it's just not very time friendly for me at the moment. It's weird because it's typically this time of year is usually quieter, but it's still booming. Have they had gang tackles? That's good. I wonder if they must have brought that across from the rugby game potentially. Gang tackles are good. I reckon, Scooter, just because we're maybe missing a few. So we don't have a backup ruckman today. Missing obviously Blight, Sonzi. Who else would they be missing? I mean, Elga would usually be playing there as well. So yeah, there's a few that they're missing. Trezise is playing all right. Ralph Smith, Hammy, who plays the wing? I think it's going to be out of Trezise or Jaden Short. Trezise probably seems the more natural option, but Short, I feel like they're going to be more keen to force Short back into the side, and they might just put him on the wing as a bit of a makeshift thing. I actually think Shorty could play it well though, so I'm not fully against it. But in terms of previous VFL form, I actually think that Trezise has probably got some more runs on the board in that area. I just don't think that they'll do it, to be honest. Definitely give us a chance next week, Dragons Cave. It's going to be a fascinating game. So for me, these next couple of games, like the Essendon game and the West Coast game, I think are going to tell us a lot more about the back half of our season than what those last 3 games did. The last 3 games were always going to be shit shows and we're going to get rolled. Playing against top 4 sides, it is what it is. But now we're up against some teams that, while they're still above us on the ladder, except for, I know West Coast aren't, but Essendon are, it feels like we're better matched against them in terms of quality. Like they're not a top 4 side, so you would like to think that we'll go into this game with a bit more belief. And as much as AFL players would go into games believing they can win every game, or that's how it's portrayed, you just know that subconsciously, at some level, the players are rocking up when they're playing against a Geelong, Adelaide, or whoever, thinking, shit, this could get ugly. And that's why when we miss our opportunities to score and then they go down and kick a few goals, that's why we drop our heads, because I think the players are already anticipating that it's going to happen. And then when it does happen, they just drop their bundle and like, yep, there we go. It's happened. And I'm hoping that narrative flips a little bit when you play against the Bombers. So they should be rocking up to the Bombers game, like firmly believing that they're a chance to win, because I think they could be. I mean, if we had a bit more of a stronger team out there the last time we played them, we would have been very close. And, you know, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but I really do think we've got to treat that type of game like our grand final. We've got to actually do our absolute best to win that game. So we'll see how we go. But the second quarter is underway here for the VFL. Does Tash Hotton make his debut next week? Look, we'll see how the rest of today plays out as the Cats go into attack with the first clearance. Wow, first goal. Shit. I'd like to see Taj play, but I know there's going to be a lot of people out there who want to just see him toil away and do some more in the VFL. You know, if he ends up with 15, 20 disposals today and has reasonable impact, I think you've got to get him in. Like, so in my mind, with Hotton, it's like, are we getting enough output out of Sonzi? And I've been a big defender of Sonzi, but if they're not going to play him in the middle, then are we better off getting 18 to 20 touches of Tash Hotton at AFL level versus 18 to 20 of Tyler Sonzi as a half forward at AFL level? So that's what we've got to kind of weigh up. That's a horrible bounce. Horrible bounce. Short playing back. Well, Matt, we could try Brown Ford. It's, yeah, again, we have to be creative, don't we? We've got to try a few things in this next 5-week period. Taj gets another clearance via hands. So yeah, I wouldn't be against trying anything, honestly, when it comes to up forward. Oh my God, free kick again. Bombers have somehow been competitive. Yeah, they have been. And look, and they're going to believe that they can beat us as well. So it's going to be hopefully 2 teams full of belief that they can get a win. And we'll have to just see what happens. Taj, that's his first kick. He's had, I think, a heap of handballs, inside 50, almost a good mark there. Yeah, I reckon Greystoke, I reckon that long-term Trezise will make it. I think he's got some really good tools. He's probably a little bit unlucky not to have made it back into the team a bit earlier. But I do really believe long-term he will end up in our AFL side. It's just waiting for his moment. I think he will be an upgrade on some of the players that we've got in there. Sid, if there was one premiership... Oh, where did that go? If there was one premiership experience player, you would be okay to give up a team like Carlton. Give to a team. I mean, I'd rather not give a premiership player to Carlton. Look, Camden McIntosh is interesting. I think he had an interesting game yesterday, didn't he? Good goal. Had some really iffy disposals at times, but he can also end up being reliable at some stages as well. I think we were saying last night on the fan cam that at some point for next year, there has to, if Camden, I would be completely okay if Camden got a contract for next year, but on the proviso that it's not guaranteeing 22 or 23 senior games. It's kind of got to be, if there's a need and room for you, you play, but otherwise it's about handing over to the youngsters for them to take over. We can't afford to shed too much more experience for another year. I do think we need to be very careful with what we do there as well. Like, we just lost 1,600 games experience. We can't lose another 600-700 again in another off season. I think that would be a little bit detrimental. Oh, Taj, read it like a DVD. Seen enough. Just get him in. His IQ is off the chart. Just saying. Billy, I'm taking credit for MJ into the midfield. It happened after your Facebook comments. I'll be putting my hand up for joint custody of that move after my going-ons for months about this. I think you're being a bit harsh, ADJ. I think we need to keep players like McIntosh and even Prestia. We can't just cut everybody. If you cut everybody, it will be a mitigated disaster. We have to be very careful. Very, very careful. Yeah, Michelle, some of these free kicks have been very questionable. Real, genuine head scratches. I think I missed a behind. Oh, wait, was it a behind? Or did they mark it? 18 to 34, so I need another. It's 19. I did miss one. Yeah, Taj in the middle, he started CBAs straight off the bat, super. Love to see it. Love to see it. Will Uze push Taj into the CBAs, though? I mean, Eric, I think you and I both know the answer to that question, don't we? Sadly. And, you know, what's interesting, as we mentioned it last night, that article obviously come out on the Richmond website about having some more variation and mix of plays as the year goes on, 2 weeks ago. If we don't see it happen, then I think, we've now got a bit of evidence or ammo to ask genuine questions like, well, okay, you said this was going to happen. Why hasn't it happened? Where is it? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? If you came to Carlton, yeah, look, I think there'll be, see, I reckon that if Camden was to be told that there's not going to be a contract on offer from us next year, I do think there'll be some clubs that would ask the question, like you said, to get him across from an experience and leadership perspective. There will be teams who would do that. I mean, I know North Melbourne went after Nathan Broad pretty hard this year for the same type of reason, for experience, and Al Clarkson wanted that. And then he obviously went down the path of Luke Parker and Jack Darling and Caleb Daniel. So he ended up getting what he wanted. But yeah, clubs will definitely ask. But I can honestly see Camden, when the point in time comes for him to retire, I can see him just kind of drifting off into the distance and just doing his own thing back in WA, making tables or doing whatever he wants to do. He does have some interests and hobbies, I guess, that he'll want to explore. I know, Leo, Ed Richards was very, very high on my list, as you all knew. Very disappointing that he signed up for the Dogs, but also completely understandable. Yeah, no, I reckon we could be looking at 4 or 5 changes next week. Obviously, a couple. I reckon there might be 3, and 3 or 4 of them could be forced. So Lawler will be out, Hugo will be out, Bolter's out. So that's 3 forced changes already. I reckon Jasper Alga's a good chance to miss. Like, rolling your ankle pre-game and then still running it out, he's going to be very, very sore. And I'll be surprised if he gets to anywhere near 100% by the time the game rolls around. So he could be another one in doubt. and they're probably the four force changes, which will be interesting. Taranto Hopper could be worth a bit in trade value. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, if a club came asking, we'd probably have to listen to offers, wouldn't we? I think we'd be silly not to consider our options on that front. Oh, Steely just did not read that whatsoever. I don't believe Bolter was reported, but I think he's missing the next 2 games because of curfew anyway. And I suppose there's maybe a little bit of concern about Vlosten being reported for the bump on danger. I mean, he shouldn't, honestly, he shouldn't. But you just never know, do you? With that's a great kick. With how the AFL MRO works. The game's at GMHBA, Marcus, so same place as yesterday. Agree, Billy Lynch and Cam. I agree, they're still needed. I agree. Michelle, the forward group is the example of why you don't send everyone away. Yep, spot on. Yeah, you got to be very careful. Like, you see so many calls after losses, you see so many people saying, oh, we've got to cut this person, that person, that person. And then they wonder why teams perform below average when they've got no one else surrounding the young talent. Yeah, you can't just cut everyone, unfortunately. There'll be 3 changes, and that will be about it. I don't think you can get rid of him, ADJ. I think if he wants to retire, fair enough. But, and I'm not saying to play him for 23 games next year. I think there needs to be a passing of the baton to a younger player. But what I'm saying is if a younger player is unavailable, if they go down, if whatever happens, then you know you've got a plug-and-play player who can come in and do a role for you at the level. And you need to have that while these kids are growing and developing. You can't just cut everyone who you think's got half-assed disposal that's got experience and just play kids. It just won't work. So you got to balance it precariously, but no, definitely not with the view to play games in bulk amount next year, but play when needed, I think would be my mantra for McIntosh and for even players like Prestia. The only one I would say would be locked in, I would say Lynch. I think just with the age profile of our forward line, I reckon that Lynch is still someone we need to look at. Although, if the next 5 weeks that we improve our delivery and our leading patterns and things like that, maybe there's a way around it. Who knows? We'll have to see what happens. It will be interesting on Wednesday night. Yeah, look, I'm not going to buy into the K-Mac hate. I think people have smashed him unnecessarily for his whole career. Oh, Taj almost read that beautifully. Armstrong will be back playing VFL next week, so he'll play against the Bombers in the VFL. I think he was crook, is why he didn't play this game. He was meant to play this week, obviously. So that was a little bit frustrating. But yeah, we'll see him back, which will be... Oh, Taj is... Jeez. Taj has gone full Jacob Bauer there. My gosh. He's had a genuine fly at that. And Carlton North examples. Well done, Yassine. Oh, Jaden Short got smashed. Tell you what, Shorty could be concussed there. Jacob Bauer flies. Shorty could be out for the count here. No, I think Shorty... I reckon it could have been the ground. Yeah, exactly right, Traddy. You don't want to cut too deep too quickly. Like as I keep saying, we lost 1,600 games of experience in one off season last year. You don't want to go anywhere near that number again. You got to hold on to some of the older guys just for in case of emergency, to be safe. At least Shorty was able to hop off the ground. Oh, Collier's missed him. Gee, that's a good pass. Shake and Bake, thoughts on MRJ's game yesterday? Awesome game. I thought he was comfortably our best player. And it's no real surprise that he got a lot more disposal and involved in the game when he was up and around the contest more, which he had showed at VFL level for the past 4 or 5 weeks. And I know he didn't have any centre bounce attendance, but good to see him get up to stoppages and do his thing. He was explosive. He applied pressure. He tackled. He hit his targets. He made things happen. I think it was a really good game from Morris Jr. And I guess we want to keep seeing more of that, but just need to keep seeing him up around the contest. That's his game. Geez, the Cats are doing a number on us here. They're outside the 10 as well. We are not playing well at all here today. Not playing well. Leo, I still think Lynch will play 20 plus games next year. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I mean, reality is that Fall, Sims, and Armstrong still won't be physically ready, even by the end or midway through next year, to be a full-time key forward on their own without Lynch. Maybe it looks like Lynch plays, I don't know, 10 to 15 games, and then maybe Lafau steps in and plays a key forward role who's a bit younger but still a big body. I think at some point we have to, if Lynch plays next year, you would have to hazard a guess it's his last. I can't imagine he'd go on for many more than that. But, another hold. Fuck me. Yeah, so we need to have some contingency plans for that. But I think we definitely need to get 10 or 15 games out of him. And if it's not him, it needs to be Lafau. I just don't think we can play Fall, Sims, Armstrong as the main forwards without that mature body helping. So we'll have to find a way somehow to make it happen. Yeah, this is a bit like at Case, isn't it? We're playing shithouse. Ross Toolbing, not sure hoops. He's played his best football in the middle, hasn't he? He's another one that we kind of need to leave there. Watch him pay a trip there. He's dropped the ball. They're going to pay a hold and he dropped the footy. Me, honestly. Just walk it down to the goal square for them and kick it. Why are we wasting the rest of the quarter? Absolute madness. Oh my God. What was that? That was a horrible attempt at a handball. Great courage, Trezise, and from the Cats player as well. Trezise kept eyes on the ball there too, which was good. We are just stuck in one part of the ground. My gosh. Shorts on the bench. Seems okay. That's good. Hopefully he wasn't knocked out. I suppose we'll find out if he comes back on. I haven't seen Gibcus back out there for a while, I don't think. Yeah, Silly has been in some CBAs. It's almost like he's swapping with Tash Hotton. Just rotating between good tackle. That's got to be dropping the ball. How is that play on? What the fuck is happening? Is this not the most bullshit biased umpiring you've ever seen in your life? You get spun around, drops the ball, and is not holding the ball. Someone help explain that to me. Someone make it make sense. Like, no wonder players get demoralised when they see bullshit like that on a frequent basis. That is just horse shit. That frustrates me so much when you see all these other free kicks being paid and the most blatant dropping the ball of the day doesn't get paid. It's crap. Absolute rubbish. Eric Steely, Green and CBA. Yeah, but I mean, Bachelor seems happy to mix shit up, doesn't he? That was the most obvious one for the day. Like, we're meant to have 4 umpires to pick up on all these things, and he just flat out dropped it in a tackle after taking 3 or 4 steps. Yeah, ball knocked out's bullshit, Nobby, isn't it? It's so dumb. If you're tackled, you watch him pay that. He did too, you piece of shit. That number 6 is a piece of crap. I'm sorry, I've said it. That is absolute bullshit. There is no difference to what just happened then to what he didn't pay 35 seconds ago. Get absolutely stuffed. You can't tell me there's no bullshit agendas. Oh my God. You can't script this shit. What is going on? Yeah, he needs to go have an early shower, that number 6, and not worry about coming out for the second half. Don't come Monday. Oh, he's in the action here, number 6. Here we go. Yeah, he's paid deliberate. You fucking flog. Oh, dear. No, Emma, we couldn't get a holding the ball if we tried. And, like, if I'm a player out there, you couldn't help but just think, why? Why would we bother? Why would we worry about trying to lay a tackle or do anything if we're not going to get rewarded anyway? Absolute madness. Are we still keen on Reid? Well, I was talking to Grok about it on, what was it, Thursday night. The talk kind of died down a bit. So Grok had said for a little while that if Matt Rowell was to stay with the Suns, which he obviously did, that things may then cool for us on Reid, because then Geelong obviously then start to maybe believe they're back into the hunt. Maybe not this year, but maybe Reid stays and goes to them next year. So yeah, Reid stayed. So, Matt Rowell stayed. But, I mean, until he puts pen to paper, you'd have to still think that we're asking the question. Tiggs hasn't heard from his mates for a little bit on this, only because I think he mentioned on Wednesday that he's changed his medication up and it was knocking him around a bit. So he was just getting through that phase first before he, starts getting back into it all. But hopefully we'll have some updates. Usually what tends to happen is updates tend to start coming through like that end of July, early August period, because some clubs are sort of wrapping up and things like that. So, well, we might hear a bit more, but it's still a really interesting discussion whether, if he is interested, are we happy to part ways with picks, or would we rather take the 2 picks? Because we've seen a bit more of the champs now, so there's a bit more of a gauge to go by. There's so many different ways it can work. Like, I'm kind of now leaning towards, it'd be nice if we could somehow split picks, and maybe get... So, look, let's say Harley Reid's off the table, right, for whatever reason. It still might be worth our while splitting picks with someone to be able to take 2 kids and maybe use that third pick to trade for another established player. I'm not saying an A+ A grade Reid type player, as long as we get another goal. But maybe there's another midfielder who's not getting as many minutes as he would like at another club that can come over and help bridge that age gap a little bit. So that maybe we've got to look in that area. We're playing shithouse, but I reckon all their confidence is sapped because they're getting dicked on by number 6 over there in the blue. Looks like Chris Newman in the crowd wearing the cap. Noel's been along already playing all these teams at finals bound. There's so much to play for. Hard for the young Tigers. Only thing that might help morale is playing new blood. Yeah, it definitely adds a bit more excitement and spring in the step, doesn't it, when new kids are buzzing around. Hopefully we see a bit more response this week against Essendon, like a game that we should be within a chance of winning. That's going to be a telling sign for me. Yeah, maybe, Mega. Maybe we don't have the skill to get away with the little Tiggy Touchwood ones. As Uze said, if Adelaide were getting away with holding Lynch like they were, maybe we're not teaching our players how to defend properly and we can do the same thing. Oh, that's a shit kick. Oh, it stayed in though. Oh, get rid of it. Oh, Taj, well done. Great desperation. Oh, Jesus. No, holding the ball there. Can't blame the kids for being demoralised. 100%, Michelle. I agree. Hey, we've got one. Look at that. What would you prioritise for next year? More young guards or some veterans? I think there needs to be a blend, Billy. I think there needs to be a blend. Like my ideal outcome at the moment, you'd love to be able to take 2 picks. I'd love to get Josh Lindsay in for some elite ball use, and maybe someone like a Sam Grill if he's available at a secondary pick. But then you'd love to have a third first round pick that you can maybe trade to bring in another B plus midfielder. Like, because we've got to be realistic. You can't always just bring in A graders. Like, that's just not how it works. But we just need to bridge the gap and fill the void with some other players. I think to good spoil by Gibcus. Because otherwise we'll get too inexperienced too quickly, if that makes sense. And maybe it's free agency as well, to your point, Andrew. And the other reason why I'm so big on us bringing in another player is we've got the money to do it. Like, we're going to have a shitload of cash available between the money we've freed up from Dusty and Bolton, Rioli, Graham, all that kind of stuff. Lynch's money is going to be a lot less now. A whole raft of things, and we've got to pay 95% of the cap, and we don't probably have the players to do that with at the moment. So I think we've got to bring in a few more players to help us hit that mark as well, that have got a bit more experience, and they just need to be upgrades on some of the players we've already got. So you want to upgrade on Sonzi, you want to upgrade on Hugo if you can. Yeah, and whatever other players we can find upgrades on. Nice little tap from Hayes Brown. Oh, free kick off the ball. Of course there is. Yeah, we definitely, it wouldn't hurt having some more experience to top up with. Oh, why didn't we mark that? Umpire number 6 has to be featured in Come On, Man. Make sure you remind me tomorrow. You have to remind me. Short to Gibcus. That's it, Leo. There needs to be some gradual progression from some of those guys who were C to make their way up to B, and hopefully some of your Bs get to As. And that'll all hopefully happen in some time. Need to try and find a goal here. Shorty back on, which is good. So that obviously means he wasn't concussed. So that's nice, McDonald's. Good movement, good movement. That was good from McDonald there, actually. Paul, I don't rate Cosby, but they should try him forward again to have a big body up forward to help the kids. Sim needs to develop in the twos. Yeah, look, I mean, with Bolter being out this week for the curfew, Paul, it's definitely a possibility. And look, if Cosby was to play in the ones, there wouldn't be any expectation on him to be marking and kicking 5 goals. But I think what you'd find would happen is I think he would actually be a lot more disciplined and better at bringing the ball to ground, having played as a key defender for a bit too, as Bauer kicks a goal, much needed. So yeah, I think that Cosy could be a definite consideration, if nothing else, but just to halve the contest and bring it to ground. If he happens to mark one and kick one, bonus, but as long as he doesn't let the other team mark the ball, it's kind of the main purpose for anyone who's playing that makeshift role. So it's a genuine possibility. And like worst case, if it's not working, he can swap with Blight and they're kind of interchangeable as well. So it adds a bit more flexibility too. So it's, yeah, definitely something to look at. I think whichever player we use down there has to have the defensive mindset, because we're going to be using a defender to do it as a bit of a makeshift for the next couple of weeks, and they've just got to be competitive. No one's going to have expectation on them to be clunking Wayne Carey grabs. But then, like, Bauer does that. It's like, is Bauer an option? So my question to everybody is, does Jacob Bauer provide, oh, good mark. Does Jacob Bauer provide a stronger contest physically in the air over 4 quarters than what Cozzy could? That I guess is the question that we have to work out the answer to. Because if Bauer's going to go missing for 2.5 quarters and not provide an aerial presence, then I think the answer is almost no. I forgot to end the poll. So everyone's gone for wing for half forward for Jaden Short. Don't mind it. Don't mind it at all. All right, we'll do a poll on Cozzy. We'll do Cozzy versus Bauer. Oh, Taj Hotton. Yeah, boy, he takes the mark. I've gone the 2-finger celebration for a mark. Just rises in the pack and takes a mark. Finish the work, Taj. Finish the work. He had no right to mark that. Bang. Good boy. Good boy. Back-to-back goals. That's handy. That's handy. A lot of comments. We've seen enough. We've seen enough. Get him in. That was very good. Jeff Patterson loves the Taj action. Billy loves the Taj. Seen enough. Bring him in. Skadoosh, goal, super, Taj. I love hot dog. What do you mean? What do you mean, super? You love hot dog? I love hot dog. That was an interesting one. I'm here for it, though. I'm here for it. All right, new poll in the chat, folks. Do we prefer Cozzy or Bauer as our makeshift forward? And that's probably a little bit harsh on Bauer because he is a forward. I just have a big question mark over, can he compete physically in the air for as long as we need him to? How was number 6 allowed that to be a centre bounce? This guy's doing my head in. Taj got the clearance, but shit, this number 6 is a knob. Oh, he is a cheat. He is a dead set cheat. I'm getting close to making a collage of this number 6. That is insane. Number 6 will pay that from about 100 metres away. What is happening? Can we find out who this bloke is and if he's a Geelong supporter? This is madness. Yeah, it's almost executive order time to get this number 6 onto the Come On Man leaderboard. This is crazy. Is Manfred getting pissed as well, starting to get number 6? Good, so they should. The guy, cheat's a strong word, but I tell you what, it's hard not to say it. Just as blatant as you would like. Eric wants to wrap Taj in the leather pants. I like that. And hold him over till next week. Wrap him in the leather pants. Imagine that. Imagine just dragging out the leather pants instead of the dressing gown and saying, here you go, young fella. Pop these on and sit on the bench for the Tiger faithful. That would be very amusing to see that. Tiger Mars, number 6, bounce. Scrooge, yeah, Tyler Young's a good shout too. He's a good shout. Michelle's up in arms about the free kick. Totally with you. Brandon, this is genuinely some of the worst umpiring I've seen in my life. Agree. As soon as we get momentum, he comes in. Billy, agree. Not happy, Chris. If anyone's got communication with Manfred, let him know that we're up in arms as well. 6 has money on this and the margin. Marcus, number 6 is back Geelong for sure. I mean, he must have gambling debts to the point where he's almost going to be on Squid Games, the Australian version, to clear the debts. That's how much money he seems to need to win, with how evident and obvious some of these free kicks are. Have you seen Six and the third-party investigator in the same room? Noel's not happy. Six sleeps with the lights on. Jesus Christ. Oh, I know it's probably irrational and abnormal to get wound up by VFL umpiring, but like there's a line and he's crossed that by about 10 to 15 steps at the moment, and it's not on. We are not copying that. I would hazard a guess, if I was to check my Twitter feed right now, it would be lit with the same kind of comments. But we've made it to half-time. 25 points the difference. We desperately needed those last 2 goals. Taj Hotton with a lovely little pack mark in the goal square and finishes the good work. So leading the way disposal-wise, Lockie Wilson on 15 touches, Jaden Short 15 touches, 8 marks, 2 tackles. Good to see Shorty back out there as well, which is nice after that big knock / hit the ground as well. Taj Hotton 13 touches, 1 mark, 5 tackles, 3 clearances, 1 goal. He's putting together another very solid game. James Trezise 11 disposals, 5 marks. Caleb Smith 11 disposals, 4 marks. Tyler Young, 9 disposals, 4 marks. Where else we got? Some AFL listed plays. Cozzy, 5 disposals. Jacob Bauer, 5 disposals, 3 marks, 1 goal. He actually looked okay, that quarter, Bauer. Gibcus, 3 disposals, 2 marks, 1 tackle, obviously on ultra-limited game time. Hayes Brown, 2 touches. He hasn't reached the heights of last week, Hayes Brown, unfortunately. But, yeah, look, good to see Shorty getting some touches and Taj Hotton putting on another very, very nice display. Pete Adams, welcome. How are you, mate? What's going on? Damien getting totally shafted by the maggots yet again. Is it 20-9? God damn. Billy, I'd be more surprised if he wasn't corrupt. It's that obvious. I'm with you. Billy. I've missed a goal. Apologies. Thank you for that. I missed Taj's goal. What am I doing? Jesus. That's a bad oversight. Better stop the timer as well. Hi, old Scruffy is at the ground. Let's play Where's Scruffy? Oh, here we go. We get to play a game. Scruffy's at the ground. He's got binoculars. Now, are you on the fence line, Scruffy? Are you in a position that's seeable when the camera pans around? We need to know that. Sleep with Chris Scott's photo. The game should be nearly tied. Geelong stayed in onus again. Yeah, the Cats definitely got on top in that quarter. I'm with, I think it was Michelle that said it earlier. I just reckon that the boys' confidence got deflated on the back of some really shithouse umpiring, and they were just wondering what else they could do. Truthfully, like, if you were playing and you were having to feel the brunt of that while being out there, you would start to question your own game and what you can and can't do. Oh, and I don't want to tell you that. I want to save it. You watched the game last night? Oh, the last quarter last night, Peter. Brown shot for goal. Would have got 75 metres. I didn't take notice of how hard he kicked that one. I did have to laugh when he apologised to Morris, though. Like, he got, obviously, the high tackle. But those type advantages are fine. I mean, Brown was running in a straight line towards goal. You take that every day of the week, unopposed. It's when players take advantage when they're in the pocket or in amongst 4 or 5 players and are about to get tackled. That's when you're like, what are you doing? Just you let the guy have a shot for goal. But Brown's one, totally fine. He nailed the shot as well, which was good. So that begs the question. We'll see. Hang on, we'll get the result of this poll first, and then we'll ramp up another one. Hang on a sec. So, end poll. In terms of who our makeshift forward should be, the results are in. 41 votes, 56% say Jacob Bauer, 43% say Cozzy. That's close. So it seems to be there's a bit of a case for either of them to come in. The next poll I want to go with is in relation to Tom Brown. So Tom Brown, do we try him forward? Now, the premise of trying Tom Brown forward is more so in relation to this next like month and a bit is obviously we're in a bit of disarray up forward. So I don't, at this point in time, I'm not necessarily suggesting Tom Brown to go forward as a permanent move, but I think we have to consider it. Just for the interim. So we'll see what everyone thinks. Can Tom Brown, if Jaden Short comes back in or Trezise comes in, they can play in the back line. Does Tom Brown go forward as a marking option who can kick some long-range goals? Just something. I think we've got to just be creative, don't we, for this next little period? Okay, so where's Scruffy? Where's Scruffy? Towards the back. How far back? Do you? Oh, that's going to be difficult if you're at the back. Can you get to the? Can you get to the fence line? 50. Is that right? Even one of Jonty Fall's kicks went quite some distance as well, Peter, didn't it, last night? Jones Racing, Richmond Tiger Talk Pod have picked up on number 6 also. I'm going to fire out a tweet. We'll see. We'll just add to the masses. There you go. Tyler Young back in. So, yeah, Tyler Young's another one too. Adds a bit of flexibility, bringing him in too. How many disposals does Taj have, Richmond Tigers fan? Bear with me a second. I'll bring up the stats. Taj Hotton's on 13 disposals, 5 tackles, 4 clearances, 1 goal. He took a nice little pack mark at the end there and scored a goal. He's had a good game. He's had a good game. So I think, look, I would be playing him next week, but I'm not on the selection committee. 21 free kicks and a half. How crazy is that, Marcus? That's absurd. Both Bauer and Cozzy shouldn't play AFL. I think I can't agree with that, S-Mac. If we had a full accomplishment, I would agree. But with with Bolter missing with curfew, we can't throw in a game that's maybe winnable against Essendon. We cannot then enter that game with 3 young forwards. We've got to put an experienced body up there. I don't care who it is. I don't care whether it's Cozzy or whether they put Cozzy back and Blight goes forward, whatever that looks like. It's an opportunity that I think we can't let slip because we're being stubborn in a game that we might be able to be strongly competitive in after a month of games that we were no chance in. I think we have to make sure we get someone in there with a big body. If Tyler comes back, then Tom Ford's. We prefer Brown kicking the ball into the forward line. Yeah, like a few people floated the wing option as well, Melanie. I can understand that too. Maybe it's like half forward. Because if he's a half forward, he can still push up to stoppages and up to the wing and then be running the ball down the ground and then kicking inside 50. Maybe that could work. That could be a potential option there for him. That's it, Mega. We've got some long kicks. They're just got to make sure they use it. And Brown is a beautiful set shot for goal, Billy. That's a good call too. He does have a very nice boot on him. And we're just going to make the most of it. And like I said, get creative. We've got a chance now to learn a few things about ourselves and throw a few plays in positions that they wouldn't necessarily be in otherwise, just because of the way the team is. Has Gorman been breeding? The goal itself was somewhat regulation. There was just a little 5 meter around the body snap, but the mark that he took to have the set shot, he was in a pack mark in the goal square and just came from the bleachers and took a nice little contested mark. So very strong grab and a strong finish. And we needed it. We needed back-to-back goals and it was good. Oh, here we go. Scruffy's moving to the boundary in the second half. Very good. Now, are the cameras facing you? We need to make sure the cameras are in your general direction. And you've got binoculars, but it's like we're playing Where's Wally? Peter, I think Tyler was great one-on-one before he did his knee. Agree. And Tyler's had a pretty good few games in the VFL as well. I think he's been solid. It'll be interesting to see if he gets a call up back to AFL level at some point. I think he's still got a bit to offer. Hopefully, Tiger fam, I really do hope that Taj, it would be a nice stage and nice occasion to bring him in for. Like I said, the question for me becomes, do we get more from playing Taj Hotton at half forward than we do from Tyler Sonsie? Because they're not playing Sonsie anywhere else. So if Taj is playing like for like, but then Jasper Alga might be coming out potentially with his rolled ankle, so maybe he takes Jasper's spot and Sonsie gets a reprieve. Yeah, Tom Brown not fit enough for wing, possibly. So you could maybe play that high half forward role and work up and down the ground. But yeah, you may be right that for a full blown wing, might not be at that level just yet. Yeah, make him half forward, but as long as if he can play half forward and get up to contest, I think it might work okay. Bolter should, I assume, Noel will play in the twos the next couple of weeks. Yeah, on the back of him not being able to play AFL because of the curfew, I would assume that he's VFL bound. I think long-term Tigers fan, long-term Tash Hotton will be a midfielder. He started in the centre bounces today, which was awesome. I think he's in his initial stint at AFL level. I think we'll probably see him almost exclusively as a half forward who maybe gets up to stoppages, but I don't think we'll see him in the centre at any point this year from an AFL perspective. But Uze might surprise us. He might put him in there. Who knows? Scruffy do the it's happening when the ball's near you. And Dabo, that's a good point as well. Goal kicking for us currently is a bit of a lost art. If we've got players who can kick for goal, chuck them down there because we desperately need it, don't we? That's a good point. Damien, I'd love to see Jack Riot return to the club as our goal kicking coach. I mean, you could do that. We also have Brendan Favola helping coach the women's side, who was pretty handy at kicking goals himself. Maybe just add a bit more to his role and get him to help out the men with some goal kicking routine and technique and some confidence. I'm surely they've had conversations, you would think. Tyler could be smoking gun like Sam Banks was. Super seen enough, buying a 24 Guernsey right now. Mega Taj will come in for Lawler or Elgar. Yeah, it feels like that, doesn't it? So there's still another spot up for grabs though, isn't there? It's going to be interesting. I mean, at a minimum for Lawler, I guess. Samuel, I reckon we can turn Mansell or MJ as taggers because they have the traits of tagger and opposition star midfielders walk over us easily. It'd be nice to see him in at the centre bounce, Samuel, wouldn't it? Just to see what they have to offer. We might get something a little bit different out of our midfield. It's like even yesterday, we won our fair share of clearances, but again, it's the quality of the clearance that we're winning versus the clearance quality that the other team's getting that makes all the pain. Brown centre half forward would be perfect. I'm not against it, Billy. Honestly, at this moment in time, truthfully, there's no bad suggestions when it comes to what to try and do with our forward line while we have no Lynch, no McKelty, and now no Bolter for a couple of weeks. There is honestly no wrong answer. We have to be creative, and I think we should be willing and open to try anything. We just need an experienced body down there to compete in the air to help out these other guys temporarily. Mega, I agree. I think Sonzi will remain after a bit more considered thought. He will remain because of the other force changes. And like, Sonzi still found that, I think, what do you have? 18 touches, 88% efficiency. That's wonderful. Magnificent. Love it. For me, yesterday, it was probably more about, he probably bailed from a few contests that you want to see him have a crack at. Like, really put your head over the ball, put your body on the line type stuff that he needs to start doing at AFL level. He does it at VFL level. He does it actually quite well at VFL level. But it seems to kind of go into his shell a little bit when doing it at AFL. And that's kind of his next step. And if he does that, maybe he can make the half-forward role his own. I don't know. But, whilst he's going at 88% efficiency, that in itself, given the way we play football, is actually quite valuable, isn't it? To have someone hitting targets a lot more often than not, we can definitely do with that help at the moment. Players they'll be playing on young forwards as well. Miller takes the experience, right? Yeah, 2 metre Peter. Second season caddy, 4th game of May. Okay. Like, I say okay because it makes me feel a bit better about this game coming up against the Bombers. I'm not at all saying that we should win. I'm saying that we should definitely be in contention and be giving ourselves a chance, shouldn't we? Surely. Billy, if Taj doesn't come in next week, I'll chain myself to punt right until he does. He's gone on a full Homer Simpson strike. I like it. Leo, I actually don't know when the curfew ends. Was it end of July, was it? Or was it like something around the 20th of July? Does that ring a bell? Does anyone know? Mega, is it possible that the unwillingness from Uze to put others in the mid, maybe Geelong-like, in keeping them out until ready, signs aside, Stevens would have played for other teams? Look, maybe. I mean, I'm kind of at the point now, Mega, where there must be some rationale or some valid reasoning as to why they're not doing it. We just haven't been told. And look, as much as we want a reason, reality is they don't owe us an explanation. It would be nice to have one, but yeah, I don't know. And I don't know. We don't have to necessarily put 3 new kids into the midfield at once. That's not smart. But surely you have 2 experienced, 1 kid just to give them the exposure. I don't know. There has to be an obvious reason as to why it's not happening, though. That Stevens was good, though. Having said that, it's much easier for him to slot into a well-oiled machine like Geelong, isn't it? You can see the difference. Swansea needs to crack in, mitigate the fumbles. Yeah, look, he was a little bit cleaner as the game went on, I felt, but there was definitely still some times where he maybe didn't go in as hard as he should have, which was, yeah, a little bit annoying. Okay, 22nd of July. Okay, so end of this month we get Bolter back. BB, we really seem to struggle with having leading targets when we're attacking. Connection seems off, which is understandable given the youngsters, but reckon Taj could help that in that regard. I think so. I think the main difference and why Taj, to your point, I think can help in that space is because he's got good footy IQ. Like, he's actually a smart footballer, and you can even see in the VFL games that he reads the play well, knows when to run back towards goal, knows when to come up. And I'm not sure whether our other forwards or half forwards have that type of same footy smart at this stage. So I think he can help be a bit of a link up in between as well. And maybe over the next 5 weeks, we do become a bit more unpredictable and we hit up leading targets a bit more because we've got no Lynch. That's the hope anyway. That's the great wide hope. Agree, Billy. Honestly, if we lose to Essendon in the same manner in that we lost the Geelong, Bulldogs and Adelaide, I'll be gutted. It just shouldn't be happening. I'm okay if we lose the game because that can sometimes happen, right? But we need to be well and truly in that game for a long, substantial period if we were to lose. But would even be better if we won. It's probably one of the last few chances, like this game, the West Coast game, and the North Melbourne game. They're the 3 games that we've probably got the greatest chance of winning, and we need to be treating it like a final. It's as simple as that, I reckon. Dolly's play Nank only forward and play Hayes Brown as the ruck around the ground. If Hayes Brown had a good game today, I'd be all for that. The only problem is he's not really had a good outing today compared to last week against the undersized Ruckman. I do still want to see Hayes Brown play a game this year. It's a tricky one. Because they've got what? So Goldstein, who back up rucks for them? I'm guessing Peter Wright would do something of some sort. But we've got to find a way to work Goldie over, I reckon. I agree, Damien. The next 2 games are definitely winnable. And this is why I'm hoping that subconsciously we attack those games much better than we do the Geelong game. Like, you would love to see us kick like a 5-goal first quarter, wouldn't you? It'd make a nice difference. And then who knows what happens from there. Played McAuliffe, Lawler, Dow and Ross in the midfield. Not for long enough, though, I don't reckon. Not for long enough. Bring on the doozy for the second half. Who's actually crack some balls and try changing plays in different positions during a game. Yeah, I agree. No, they need to just throw it around during game. When the game's done and dusted, just try different shit. Bolter curfew ends 22nd of July after... Okay, so he misses the Eagles game. That one hurts a little bit, doesn't it? It'd be nice... Like, in the games that we're a chance to win, we're losing plays that can add something to that possibility of winning, which makes it more difficult. Which is, a little bit frustrating. Should we tie number 6 to the mural? Or we could do that, Jones Racing. We'll get Grock to wrap him up and tie him to the mural. And Billy, that's a good point as well. I mean, Uze could be leaving plays in place on purpose for the experience to see what he's got for next year. Genuine possibility. I think as a supporter, I would rather hear that instead of putting out the article saying, oh yeah, we'll mix it up in the back half of the year and then nothing's changed yet. If that's what they're doing, fine, but tell us, because they would check socials, right? They would be across all the different fan pages. I mean, I know they know who we are. They see what we do. They'd be across all the Twitter stuff and whatnot. They would see the frustration that supporters are having, and we're all saying the same thing. So if there's a plan that's meaning that we're not doing that, yeah, maybe give us an insight as to why so we can manage our own expectations internally. Did I start the clock? I did. Why is that now so much smaller on my screen? Start of the third. Oh, God. Cats are just bursting inside 50. Oh, that is one of the worst bounces you'll ever see. Ah, he's Irish. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, what technique was that? But that makes total sense why he did that. Bounced it like my son did on the road today when we were kicking the footy. God bless him having a go, though. Oh, Trezise just nonchalantly weaved through that. Hotton on the left foot. Look at that. Oh, he's dropped the mark, though. Dropped the mark. That was terrible. That bounce did save us, Billy. That was a certain shot of goal, and that was an awful bounce. But Taj is picking out 45-metre left foot passes into space and let down by his teammates. If we can get the first goal here, that would be nice. It's interesting, isn't it? Because in games like today with the VFL, I reckon they start to feel the impact of not having a Maurice Rioli out there doing what he does. Oh, of course he gets a free kick. Yeah, who was it? Was that number 6 again? Yeah, of course it was. Go. Oh, Taj is over the top. Rosa just had to give the first time possession. Oh, that's a shit kick. Cozzy. Good backing up. Lawler and Hugo scans this morning. I should know the severity this evening. Yeah, look, I'll be gobsmacked if Lawler's back this year. I think it's almost certainly next year. All good, M. King, all good. I know. The Lawler, yeah, bloody shattering. You know, we take the extra week to get him right, and it was like 2 minutes. And from it sounding like that it was more the mechanics of how he tackled, or the tackle that he made is what caused the hamstring to go. So it's not like he was just chasing someone and it went. That would probably be worse, I would argue. So the fact that it happened because of that, it sounds like that it wouldn't have mattered how long we waited, that it would have just gone either way. Oh, Bauer's down though. He's taken the mark, but he's hurt. Yeah, no, that's not good. Come on, Bauer. Get up. Get up. Get up. He looks in a bit of distress. Yeah, welcome M King to the chat. Honestly, can shit get any worse? Like, we just do a poll before about who can be a makeshift forward for us. Bauer's obviously one of the contenders, starting to play okay. I mean, we don't know the extent and severity, but you just don't need this. He doesn't need this. He's fighting for his career. Like, give us a break, injury gods. Give us a break. Look, the fact he's walking on his own hopefully means it's not as bad, but it really doesn't mean anything. Players have walked off plenty of times having done ACLs, unfortunately. I'm not at all saying that that's what that is. We obviously have to wait for more info on that one because we don't get the benefit of replay here to see how that all unfolded. But yeah, that looks grim. But even Scooter, even though he's walking, that still doesn't exclude him from ACL, unfortunately. But hopefully it's not severe. Sealy Green taking the kick though from the Bauer mark. Good boy, good goal. Good goal. We needed that to start the second half. But that is a bit of a sour note. Yeah, a lot of concerned people in chat, and I'm with you all. M. King Atkins is a strong bull too. Probably took more strength. What did he have, like 17 tackles or something? That's a phenomenal number. And didn't Rao earlier on in the day have something similar? Or was that clearances? I might have got the stat confused. But 17 tackles, I don't care who you play for. That's ultra impressive. Freeze us. Is it 9-21? Jesus Christ, man. What is happening? And look, I know people are going to be frustrated at this Bauer injury. That's just luck. or bad luck. That's not on fitness team. That's not on anyone. I know no one suggested that, but just so we're kind of all on the same page. If anything comes of that, there's not anything anyone could have done there. It's an impact landing injury. Maybe it's an injury. We don't know yet. But yeah, hopefully it's just a jarring or a hyperextension or something like that. Yeah, because he's doing all right. Agree, Billy. It's flat. Yeah, S-Max Steely's. Yeah, I love the fact that he's gone back to VFL here and he's putting together a solid game in terms of goal kicking. Because, we've all talked about it before, but his goal kicking is what was severely lacking at AFL level. Like, he went so long between games. And I know some of that's probably systematic of the way we played and not being as clean as the VFL team in a lot of ways. But good to see him hitting the scoreboard for his own confidence than anything else. And maybe that's the spark we need. Get him, Razzo. Good grab, Caleb. I'm with you, Billy. You would rather get done by 200 points in the VFL and have a clean bill of health. For sure. That's it, M King. And that's why I was a little bit pissed off about our... We only had one tackle inside 50 last night. And like you said, it doesn't matter if you're the number one draft pick, if you're on $2 million a year or $400,000 a year. Everyone has the same ability to be able to tackle. Your skill level is totally irrelevant. It should just be a non-negotiable. I think we had about 40-odd tackles for the game or whatever it was. But the fact we didn't get one inside, or we only got one inside 50 was pretty low numbers, to be honest, and that used to be the cornerstone of our game. So we need to find a way to rectify that as well. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working, does it, Greystoke? We try to avoid it, and it still just keeps happening. The eye gods are not on our side, are they? Another forward 50 stoppage here. Because now we've got to find a makeshift forward in the VFL too. Because he's now forward. There we go. So they've made the switch. They've thrown a magnet. And now we get to see what Jacob Gazitzi, the forward, looks like, which is in a lot of ways maybe an audition for what he may be required to do at AFL level. So we'll see how this pans out. We've definitely lifted. Geez, that was a good mark by the Cats player. Oh, the young spoil just didn't go out of bounds, though. Oh, behind. Lucky. Michelle, just a note on tackling only being effort. I'd only add that trying a tackle a mature AFL strength guy with the strength of an 18-year-old is not the same. That's true. Like, in terms of their ability to break through tackles. I guess probably feels like more about the application. We always have room for improvement on the tackle front, I reckon. Like, when skills aren't going our way or ball movement or whatever, we need to get back to making tackling our one wood, I think. Which I feel like a lot of teams think they do or try to do, but it's true though. When it comes to, like, I think we can't expect a Steely Green or a Jonty Fall or someone to lay a big tackle on a Dangerfield, can we? Oh, Cozzy the forward. Who's he pass to though? Well, we might get a stoppage here. But hey, even what he did just then, if that's all he's able to do for us at an AFL level, that'll work for the time being. Played in front, got the ball inside 50. I mean, it's better than what we're going to have. Tubby, do we ask the question of Carlton if Curnow or Mackay were willing to come over, struggling to score? A few people have flagged the Curnow or Mackay one. I don't know. If you had to pick one, he lowered his knees then. It's so annoying. If you had to pick one out of Curnow or Mackay to have a crack at, who would you pick? For me, it depends a little bit on how McKelty comes back as well. I'd probably rather, like, it would be a lot of money to get Curnow or Mackay across, and I'm not sure if the output would reflect it, if that makes sense. Oh, just let him roll through the middle there. They are dropping their legs in contests quite a bit. Shorty, that was shit. Short did not track that back into the contest at all. That was not nice. Leo, I thought that was his best game for the year for him. I think it was 22 disposals and 3 goals for Ryan Mansell. I thought that was really good. He'd been kind of missing a little bit the last few weeks, and in a game that, oddly enough, wasn't really on our terms for really any part of the game, traditionally that was a game that he would maybe fade out and not have too much impact. So for him to have 22 and 3 goals as the Cats kick a goal, I thought he had a really good game. Man, so hopefully he can get a bit more of that. Yeah, Michelle, I think Batchelor's been good for the VFL boys. Annoying that we concede that goal there, but hopefully we can peg a few back here. And that's the other thing, players. We wouldn't want to be giving up top end picks to get an older forward, would we? We'd have to find. Like, I just don't know. Are there any other forwards available in free agency? I haven't looked at the list for a little while, but I think we need to top up somewhere with something in the free agency pool, if there's anything available. Oh, Scruffy couldn't get to the boundary. Fair enough. Yeah, I reckon the players dropping knees in contests is definitely an experience thing. But they keep getting rewarded for it. Like they, as in just anyone in the AFL who does it. And it's like, well, why don't we start doing it? If everyone else gets rewarded, then why can't we? But like in a lot of ways, I'd actually rather our players not do it because it's just a shit look, isn't it? Yeah, we wouldn't. I reckon I'd rather add another midfielder if we're going to play him in there, or another halfback maybe. Winger. I don't know. We've got to find someone of the right age to bring in to help out to bridge the gap. Yeah, George Stevens looked alright. Can definitely see him playing a few more games. I mean, it's definitely a lot easier for someone like him to slot into a well-oiled machine like the Cats. He looked good. The Cats looking strong again here. Oh. Gee, I thought I might have paid a push there. Darcy should be easy to get. What was the poll? Tom Brand, do we want to try him forward? 60% say yes, 39% say no. I'm all for trying to play him forward. Like I say, it's not a permanent shift. It's just during this small little struggle period. Get a bit creative. Get the guys up forward who can mark and kick straight. Maybe we get a chance to kick a few more goals earlier in games too. Give it the Taj. Oh, what was that handball? We're just waiting for the ball. We just seem a little bit flat-footed and responsive at the moment. If we can somehow get a couple of goals here, we'll be back in it. Yeah, MK, they did change the rule to that, but they just don't apply it. Because there's still plenty of players that lower their body to draw a high free kick and nothing gets paid. Like, it's probably a hard one to judge in the heat of the moment. Like, I think it's one of those ones where when you look at a replay again, you slow it down, it's easy to spot when players are doing it. But in real time, I can definitely understand why it would be a harder one to adjudicate. I guess the issue with a lot of the rules we have in our game is there's a lot of grey area or areas for interpretation rather than it being a hard and fast rule. Hotton with the underground handball. Or in the back. Not in the back to Cozzy then. This number 6, I swear to God. Cozzy just got smashed into the back. You can bet your bottom dollar if that was a hoops player, would have got the free. Why did George step out for? Well, probably away then if he had kept that in. Need Dusty to make a comeback? Wouldn't that be nice? Cameron Borges from Adelaide. I've never heard of him. What does he afford? Because even the ruck division's an interesting one as well. I know we've often all talked about what does life look like after Nankervis. And for a long time, I'd been mentioning Ned Moyle and Ned Reeves and whatnot from, I think, Gold Coast and Hawthorn as probable options. But I had a look at their contract status. Both of them are contracted to like 27, 28. I know contracts can be broken. If you were to offer them a number 1 ruck gig, some good coin, they'll probably leave. But it kind of made me a bit more nervous that there may not be as ready-made replacement as we thought for, of course, it's another free. There might not be as a ready-made replace available for Nank as we maybe first thought. So we'll have to see what happens there. Leo Bauer landed a bit awkwardly in a marking contest on his knee, was down on his hands and knees for a little while. We don't know the extent of what happened. It didn't look great. He was getting helped off by the trainers and then ended up walking off for the last little bit of it. I'm not sure if the commentators have had any update. I can't really hear what they've been saying, but the umpires have just handed Geelong another goal, so that's excellent. So I'm not too sure the extent of what Bauer's dealing with, but he ended up walking off for the rest of the exiting off the ground, but that doesn't really clear him from any big damage yet, unfortunately. Riccardi, I mean, it might not be a bad shout, eh? I know a lot of people have obviously loved Cadman from the Giants, but I think that ship's unfortunately sailed, I think. But yeah, Riccardi mightn't be a bad one. Might not be a bad one to explore. Oh, Grok, are you there, mate? Did you end up going? Number 6, Grok. If you're there, you need to get a message out to him. Need to get a message out. Oh, flock up on a tap. Well, makeshift Ruckman, we've wound back the clock and gone full Sean Grigg. Lloyd Meek, is he out of contract, is he? Yeah, we're gonna have to try and find someone from somewhere, won't we? There's so many negative people on Twitter, isn't there? Seriously. Oh, we got a free. Oh, have you left, Grok? Or are you still there? What are your current movements? in the Hall of Fame for come on, man. Surely we can official complaints. It's not a great standard, is it, Damien? It's not great. Billy, there's just some nonsense out there on Twitter, and like I'm talking even Richmond people. The amount of negative garbage being spewed by people who don't grasp or understand the concept of where we're at and what a rebuild looks like is truly astonishing. Truly astonishing. And all they do is get themselves angry, make themselves look silly with the things they write for no reason. Experienced big body forward from another club, and Lynch is a forward-line coach next year. Yeah, they'll have to do something, won't they? He's paid a mark. No. And it wasn't him. It wasn't the main umpire. I swear to God, it was number 6 off in the distance paying that as a mark. Dear. Deary me. Yeah, Hayes Brown definitely hasn't risen to the same heights as last week. I mean, we all knew it was a big mismatch last week, and he exploited it and did as he should, which was good to see. But yeah, back to a bit more of a struggle today with this game. What are we waiting for? It must be a blood rule, I'm guessing. I got no idea how that was a mark bench, but it wasn't the central umpire who called that. It was old mate number 6 off the ball. He's still there, Grok. Where are you sitting? Get to a fence line so we can see you. And that's the thing, Z-Man, isn't it? And this happens at AFL level too, but there comes points in times in games where you end up just seeing rubbish free kicks for the other team happening because they're trying to even it up to not look as shit. Biggest issue for those that don't understand and get angry online is we continue to have the anomaly of Geelong have not dropped since before Bomber Thompson. Like they haven't dropped as such, have they? But they've also not had, I would still argue they've not had as much of the ultimate success as what we've had. We had it obviously in really short succession. And I think that the way we won ours, like 3 and 4 years, was a lot more difficult to do than anything they've done. But like even Sydney are probably another one that have hung around. I know they had a bit of a down year this year, but they typically hover around good areas. Collingwood have for a little bit as well, typically. I guess they've probably landed a few more free agents along the way than what we have as well. But still, be that as it may, there's still got to be a level of understanding of where we're at in our footy cycle and to not have lofty expectations of what we're going to be achieving in the next couple of years, because it's only going to lead to some severe anger and disappointment for those people. I agree, Grok. Is it cold out there? What's the weather like? And I think this rebuild would feel totally different if we didn't win those flags. Like, it would be a lot harder to take and to defend for sure. But it wasn't the officiating umpire that paid that. It was old mate off to the side. It wasn't the guy who was 2 meters away who paid that. This is staggering. Oh. Maybe beat the traffic home, Grok. If there is any traffic after a VFL game. Well, we're on a counter-attack. What's number 6 going to do? Hey, Taj. Oh, he paid us a mark. Wow, that must have hurt him. I don't know, eh? We need to find out, though. This is getting into Curtis Du Bois territory. $10 to $25. I think the one factor that separates them a little bit, Mega, in terms of Geelong against other clubs, is them being sort of isolated down there. It does become more of a draw card for prospects to go there because they're kind of out of the fishbowl. And the one thing that Geelong does really well as a town is they cover very well for their players. So you got players going there like Jack Stephen, Bailey Smith, Tyson Stengel, like players who have had iffy and questionable past on outside of football. They get well hidden and well looked after down there, and they don't have that same exposure as they do staying in the Melbourne area. And they end up getting just a lot of quality players, I think, as a result of what they can offer players in that part of the world too. As we get a nice little goal there. It's chilly, and to answer the question, I'm just having a beer out in the concourse. Is that on the other side of where... Are you on the camera side or the other side? I've not been to GMHBA for a while. Rosh, you're 1 minute ahead. I think we've been somewhat synced up for most of the day, which has been a nice change. Yeah, Nobby. I think Nobby, that's the crux of it. And so during the Hardwick era, they obviously brought in Taranto and Hopper because they felt like they were still in the window for one more chance, which I can understand. It's obviously backfired now, but we weren't to know that. The other thing that happens as well when you've got a side running as successful as what we were in that period, unfortunately, it typically means that it's at the expense of being able to blood youngsters at a correct rate to have them ready when they should be. And we've just not been able to do that because we had so many good players in running a well-oiled machine for so long. There wasn't the temptation or the need to put the young kids in, and we just kept going with what was working because it was so dominant. And maybe that's where we went wrong. Maybe other clubs like Geelong and Hawthorn and Sydney, maybe they were able to blood the youngsters along the way in their successful periods, and that's what helped keep them up because they were continually getting games into young kids whilst also being successful. Maybe that's where we went wrong. Definitely some learnings to take from it. Definitely some learning. And I reckon that's as much to do with it as anything, that we just didn't give ourselves the chance to blood the youngsters like we should have. Because he didn't have the ball there, I wouldn't have thought. Taj, look away handball. Razzo on the boundary. It's a goal. Mazamo Razzo. No one really got excited there, but that's a goal. I shouted unnecessarily. I'm sorry. 19 points. Still a bit of a pulse. Would have thought Cozzy should have got a free kick then, but anyway. Jones Racing, third-party deals help, definitely. Like Grok, I won't repeat that out loud, but funny nonetheless. On the camera side, nearly spat the... So it was actually said, wow. Where'd the comment go? Taj getting close to 20. He's on 18 now. Oh, my prediction, 18 and a goal. There you go, so I'm somewhat close. Hotton's I keep saying it's Goodwish, don't I? But his IQ is elite. Feel bad for those blokes sold winning flag. Yeah, I know. And I know that we sometimes probably give a little bit of stick to Taranto and Hopper, not as individuals because they play well, more as a unit. But I do respect that they've hung around to see this out because they were definitely sold a bit of a dream, weren't they, with finals. That's annoying. They just kicked that goal. God damn. That's not the reply you wanted. That kind of really undoes our hard work. Daniel Johannesson, there we go. He's been on the research. No, it's not the internet, Ross. It's actually more to do with YouTube instills a natural delay when you stream. So it's nothing to do with the internet. It's just that when you use streaming software and whatnot, that's just part and parcel of it, sadly. The game's on. So, Tim, if you go to the AFL website or the AFL app and you go to the match day centre, so it'll be by default set as your AFL Premiership season. But if you change that drop down to VFL, then you scroll down, see the VFL game, and you can click watch now. So, yeah, watch it on the AFL app or the website. But stay tuned in here as well. As Tash Hotton gets a clearance from the centre. Can we get that goal back? Oh, God, Cozzy's just almost been decapitated. No free kick. Play on. Taj almost with a very nice inside 50 delivery there. So Gibcus has been playing heavily limited minutes, Jared. Had some okay spoils, but hasn't really been in a position to get bulk touches playing as a key defender. Largely because when the Cats have gone forward, it's actually been relatively clean and clinical, if I'm being honest. Taj, another nice handball out. It'd be nice to jag one here. Oh, behind. Ben, that is shit news, if that's the case. Where have you heard that? Where have they put that? I mean, it didn't look great, but it was always hard to tell the extent. That's not a great outcome at all if that's what he's done. Halftime, Sydney 48, 40, Freo 28, clearance 20 to 10. Geez, actually, I need Freo to win that. I've used my joker this week in footy tips to get double points, and I've got everything right so far. Probably need Bolton to have a good game too for my super coach. Yeah, 32-minute quarter. Crazy. Yeah, it's a fair point as well. Like you have to admire how good Pendle, especially Pendles. I mean, over 400 games, he still looks so good, doesn't he? In a lot of ways, Pendles is sort of the perfect sub for the Pies. Comes on, has a great impact, and he still looks like he can keep going for another year or two, doesn't he? And Danger was pretty impactful last night as well. He can be a really dangerous and tough matchup as a forward. We've got to get this inside 50, lads. It's a long quarter. Good kick. But yeah, as much as we can all dislike Collingwood as a club, you can't not be impressed with Pendles and how he's gone about his career. It's been super impressive that he's still putting the same kind of output now that he is now. It's been really good. Ah, shit. Bolton 0 touch. That's not good for my super coach. Not good at all. Oh, it hasn't gone over. Too high. Cozzy! Hey, Cozzy gets a goal. Get him in the ones. Get him in the ones. The makeshift forward. Tell you what, he has done himself a few favours in terms of maybe getting a reprieve at AFL level in this interim period where we need someone to stand up with Bolter out. Cozzy could be in. It's not the worst option. He's competing really hard down there, and that's all we can ask. Well done, Cozzy. Rossby, I mean, Hotton definitely has to come in. Cozzy, I mean, I think Cozzy's now, given what's happened to Bauer, and, you know, like we said, if Cozzy comes in, he doesn't need to take 5 marks and kick 5 goals. He just needs to compete and give us a big body up there and someone to kick it to. And I actually think him playing as a defender for so long will help him bring it to ground better than what the youngsters will be able to do. I think it would be wise to bring him in. Oh, don't let him respond so quickly. Oh, Jesus Christ. Either blow the siren. 34 minutes. Any danger of 3/4 time happening? Kaczynski legacy moment. Tubby seen enough, get Cozzy in. We can't concede here. If we want to give ourselves a chance, we can't concede. I'm not sure why Elnor was asking for a free kick, but and yeah, it's a good example. Like Bachelor moving some magnets thinking outside the square, and you get a result. Thank God we escaped not conceding a goal there. Well, we're still in this. We're still in this. Stranger things have happened, folks. All right, we'll jump across to the stats. I'll just refresh to make sure that we're up to speed here. But 18 points, 3 goals. It's not completely out of the question. Very good fight back. Wilson leading the way, 22 touches. Harry Scott, 20 disposals. Taj Hotton, 20 touches, 2 marks, 6 tackles, 5 clearances, 1 goal. I mean, for those questioning, he only did it against the Bullets because they were shit last week, which they were, but he's done it again against a good side in the Bulldogs in his first game on limited minutes, and he's put up consistent numbers again. I nearly really got that badly wrong against Geelong today with a quarter to go. So let's have a look at him at AFL level next week. Caleb Smith, 18 disposals, 6 marks. Shorty, 18 touches, 8 marks, 2 tackles. Trezai, 16 disposals. If I missed a score, I will add one on. What are we? 57 to 75. Thank you. Razzo, after 12 disposals, 1 goal. Cossie, 12 disposals, 1 goal. Very timely goal. Elnor, 12 touches. Tyler Young, 9 disposals, 4 marks. Steely Green's kicked a couple of goals, 9 touches, 4 marks, 4 tackles, 1 clearance. Hayes Brown, 7 touches. And Bauer on 5. Gibcus on the 4 disposals, 2 marks, 1 tackle. So Gibcus, I mean, I don't know what his percentage is. I dare say it's quite low in terms of time on ground. But just good to see him out there, no matter what. That's it, Jones Racing. Blow the siren before number 6 blows the whistle. Got to get in first. Agree. We didn't have any active polls. Any other questions we want polled to the chat? We've got 101 people watching. Let's think of some poll questions. 23 likes as well. Let's see if we can get that up to 50. If you're in the chat, if you're in the house and you haven't hit like yet, please do so. It really helps the stream out. We appreciate all the love and support. Let's get it to 50 likes. Smith he did get decapitated. I reckon the umpire was on the wrong side then. Hotton to kick 3 4-quarter goals. S-Mac, I like your thinking. I like it. Let's see that happen. Yeah, Paul Lee, it's amazing, isn't it, when you kick straight, how much it actually helps. I know it's a very age-old saying, but bad kicking's bad football. If you decide to kick straight, it keeps you in games for longer. I mean, if Cozzy misses that one, even just the work on the goal line to keep that ball in play keeps it alive and gives Cozzy the chance to get that goal. So just small things like that really help. Really, really help. Michael, it's probably a good thing you've missed some of these free kicks, if I'm honest with you. Number 6, the umpire in particular, it's as close to cheating as you could have without an official investigation. And I'm not even over-exaggerating that. Some of the shit that he's pulled today has been extraordinary, to the point where I'm contemplating making a collage. It's been ridiculous. Harry Scott, he's had a couple of good games in a row on Harry Scott. Send Lawler to Germany for his hamstrings tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's going to be on the cards, I reckon. Most definitely we shouldn't see him again this year. What will we go with? Start a poll. Whoops. Wrong button. Oh my gosh. Oops. So I like the Armstrong and Smiley one. So should we still bring back, or should we look to bring back Smiley and Armstrong to AFL level if form permits? Personally, I don't think we should be scared off by what's happened to the players out there. I mean, the Lawler one does seem like really shit rotten luck, and I don't think we should go into our shell. But if form permits, I reckon you've got to play him. Got to play him. That's just my one anyway. Shane, welcome. Just come in, but damn, Hotton's going to bring some players into the game. Mate, he's looking good. He's looking good. And there's still a quarter to go, so he can still explode yet again. Lettuce kicking straight can make up for other weaknesses. Agree. It definitely helps in that space. Definitely helps. Michelle fighting admirably considering the umpire breaks. Good call. Building good mental strength. That's a good point too. Make a formal complaint. Hotton's surpassed my tip. I know, which is good. He's surpassed it. He's beaten me by 2 disposals, which is nice. Andrew, I'll be gobsmacked if Hotton doesn't get the call up next week, assuming that he's ticked all the boxes from a fitness perspective and does all the kilometres. I will be utterly shocked if he's not playing AFL next week. It would make no sense to me in any realm. Yazin, do you think the players returning from injuries, anything over 4 weeks, should automatically play VFL? I think it's getting to that stage. I mean, they obviously gave Lawler that extra week off, and he was technically right to play last week. And I know it was a freak accident, the way he did the hamstring. But I wouldn't be against seeing a bit more of the VFL stints for players coming back just to be sure, and just to increase even if it's 1 week, get through a game on limited minutes and at a higher intensity and then play AFL. There's no reason why we shouldn't do that, I don't think. Glenn, why can't we have a plan B version of a small forward line to use as a strategy in the next couple of seasons? I think, Glenn, what we'll see in the next couple of seasons that we will see hopefully we'll see an evolution of our game style, plan, method, whatever you want to call it. We're very, very predictable this year because you can only teach so much in one off season, but I think we'll definitely see some tweaks and changes. But if we go smaller up forward, it only works if we kick the ball, if we grubber it in or if we kick to leading forwards. I'm just not sure if we're at that stage of kicking to lead up targets on a consistent basis yet. It would be great to get there, though. So to your point, it'd be great to get there. I tend to agree. Kano, how are you, mate? A2 Gibcus is going. He's out there. He's playing, but he's only had the 3 disposals. He's had a couple of spoils. Hasn't really had much impact on the game at all. But I guess in a lot of ways, today wasn't really about him having a big impact in some ways. I would have liked to have seen him get a few more touches. I'm not sure how many minutes he'll play in the last quarter. But yeah, I thought he might have gotten more involved now that Cossie's up forward, but we'll have to wait and see. We have to play the kids if they're fit and ready. Agree. Experience, yeah, 100%. They can get equally at risk of hurting themselves at VFL than AFL. 100%. If they're fit, play them. Chris, Hotton has had some Shane Edwards level handballs. They should not be so clean, but they're to the advantage of his teammates. Yep, agree. And that's like I've been saying. I think a lot of people have seen it too, that he's a bit of a hybrid between Edwards and Bolton. He's going to be a special player, Tash Hotton. Make no mistake about it. He's got the footy IQ of those players for sure. What type of player should we recruit, Massimo? At this point in time, my good mark by Taj, my number 1 draft target as it sits right now with our first pick, and I truthfully don't really care if it's pick 1, 2, or 3. Is that not a free kick for a hold? Thank God for that. I would be picking Josh Lindsay with our first pick. Elite ball user. He's the best kick in the draft. He's already touted as a top 5 player anyway. We need guys who can kick the ball with quality. And I think he fits the bill. I reckon we're going to get Josh Lindsay. He's my pick for who we should draft. And then on top of that, if you can get a grill for some extra pace in your midfield, then why not do that as well? Shorty, get this in deep, son. Get it in deep. Yeah, Nobby, I reckon Qatar could be on the cards for Lawler. Yeah, buddy. Shorty's popped it up high, out in the full. Or was it touched? No, out in the full. That was a waste of a kick. If you're going to kick it like that, Shorty, put it to the hot spot at least. Kano, best on ground for us so far. I don't know if I'm being biased in saying Tash Hotton, but he's been pretty good. I think the jump from VFL to AFL is so great. Yeah, I think there's definitely some method in having them do some VFL minutes. I think for sure. Yeah, Mega. I think they seem to feel like really comfortable that he was ready last week, and I've got no doubt they made the right call to not play him last week. And it just sounds like the mechanics on how the leg and body went, that it was probably going to go anyway in that type of example. Good pick up by El Nor then. Just shithouse luck, isn't it though? Oh, Smith. Oh, he got a kick. Oh. That's it, Michelle. Like, plenty of examples where it's not gone right for us. El Nor's had a good start to this last quarter. Yes, good from Yassine. Get the handball away though. Go Street. You get the handball away. Good, good, good. There was good pressure there from the Cats, but we thought our way through it. Taj now. Sweeping handball to Razzo. Razzo to 45, 30. Straight in front. Must score a goal. Come on. Let's go. Great football there. Well done. Halfback. That was great work at halfback. The Cats were putting us under some serious pressure down there, and they thought their way through it really well. And it was that last overlap handball in onto the inside that was able to get it released. And then Taj does his work in the middle. Razzo finishes off. That's a beautiful goal. Back in the hunt. Back in the hunt. Let's go. Up to 39 likes. Come on, let's get it to 50 likes. Let's get on the Tiger train. We're on 39 likes. Let's get it to 50 or 60. Appreciate all love and support, guys. It helps the channel out massively when we get behind it. Shorty. Sorry, Vault Boy. I got it wrapped up in that bit of play. Shorty's been okay. I was a bit disappointed with that kick he had before, though, kicking it out in the full. Like, I would rather see that kick go to the hot spot and actually give ourselves half a chance. It was big by Street Mega. Street stood up. He was probably a half a second away from getting pinged, wasn't he? But there was a couple of really close handballs. Even Yassine, it probably started with Yassine earlier getting his kick away. But we can't afford to concede straight away. Trezise, excellent spoil. Shit kick, though. Oh, Super's gone. Taj, Jack Dye medalist. Don't mind it. Yeah, Rose's an interesting one, Tubby. He can go missing in games a little bit. And my only question about Razzo... Oh, don't be too high. Yeah, my only question on Razzo is, if we were to pick him up, would he get a game at AFL level for us, or would he still be playing VFL? Like, is he getting a game ahead of Steely Green, ahead of Mansell? Oh, Tyler Young going for a run. Hello. Gets it inside 50. Cozzy's down there. Street's down there. Flockhart with a handball. Oh, let's go. Liam George slots home the goal. Great forward efforts up there from Flockhart and Cozzy to bring that to ground. That's exactly the challenge that we want. Here we go. Game on. Game on. See, we got to 50 likes and we're back in the game. This is what we're talking about. It correlates. Melly, let's announce straight after the game finishes the Hottons playing next week. I mean, tell me if you're not Adamusa, you don't have a massive shit-eating grin on your face when you're watching Taj Hotton do this at VFL level, thinking he's going to be in our side very, very soon. It has to be next week. It has to be. Yeah, Rogar, look, I wouldn't be against seeing a bit more from Shorty, just more from a damage factor. Like, it's okay to rack up the numbers, but you got to be impactful, don't you? It's all about impact. Ash, how are you, mate? Good to have you on board. I appreciate the love and support. Taj is looking nice again. He's had a good start to this last quarter. Don't want to concede an early one here to him. We've got to, if we can get 3 in a row. How was Tyler Young going on a run down the wing just quietly? Oh, that's a shocking bounce. Oh, got to chop this off. Got to chop this off, El Nor. Oh, that's a bit of a throw. That's 50. Umpire number 6. Where's the 50? Every day of the week. Jeez, he wouldn't pay it, would he? Billy getting stuck into him. Rational, how are you, mate? Rational. Taj is a very special talent. Let's not get down too much on recent results. All about the future. Good call. Look, I think, yeah, it's definitely okay to be a bit bummed about some of the results, but as long as there's still some perspective and some context, and we've obviously got a bit to look forward to. Our Nords had a good quarter as well. And Melanie, that I'm as surprised as you about that free kick. That's a good mark from the Cats. That's what we've got to stop. That cannot be 15. Put him under. Get the pressure. Oh, Elnor. Great spoil, Elnor. Well done. He's had a great last quarter. Yeah, Billy. I mean, that Tyler run young, that caught me very much by surprise. Did not expect to see that at any point on my bingo card. Number 6 crying on the inside, having to even the ledger this quarter. Oh, snack back. Gets the tap down. Good little clearance. Cozzy, see, held front position. That's all we need him to do. Hold front position. Don't let them mark it. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, number 6 is giving us another free. That he must be just being eaten alive inside. He's been given the word, even shit up, or you're not umpiring next week. Yassine with the ball at the half forward line. Who's down there? Oh, Cozzy! Oh, Cozzy! He's clunked one. Here we go. Here we go, Cozzy. Jesus. If he kicks this, we're getting it to 70 likes, folks. I don't care what we say. We're getting it to 70 likes if he kicks this. My main issue with the game last night was we allowed him to go through the middle. They were good, though, weren't they? Their transitional ball movement, I think they're the number 1 team from scoring on turnover and from stoppage, or 2 or 3. I can't remember if they were 1, but they were unbelievably good at transition. They are what we strive to be. They were exquisite. Jacob Kazitsky, not sure the kick's much good. Oh! Steely Green, he's just made absolutely something out of nothing. That was a Scheisenhausen kick from Cozzy, but the ball gets kept alive and Steely Green just kicks a bullshit goal somehow. Bit of a kung fu type mid-air kick and it goes in and we're all tied up. Wow. That's right, S-Max. Steely with a Jackie Chan. Did not see that coming. That's a remarkable goal. Well done by Cozzy for the mark. And again, you keep the ball alive deep and a small forward there to do some ninja action and away we go. Jesus. We're back. 57 likes. Let's get it to 60. We're riding the wave with the team. Yeah, Rezo, look, he had a really good start to the year. I reckon he dropped off on form a little bit earlier in the year and kind of went missing for a few games. And then has started to get involved again. I've actually really liked seeing him a bit further up the ground, similar to how Morris gets up around the contests. I think he's been good being able to get his hands on the ball a bit more, like very much a confidence type thing. Tyler Young had his arm around his neck, no free kick, sure. Yassine, good, Yassine, get rid of that. Well done. Caleb Smith gets through. Oh, that's a great mark. That's a great mark from the Cats there, to be honest. Yeah, Steely's had a good game today. Not a great kick from that player. Yeah, it's been good from Steely. This is the type of response that you want to see from Steely Green. Oh, we got to shut down this entry. Good spoil, Tyler Young. That's where I like Razzo, doing some work up there. I think that's really good. Oh, Yassine is just making this really difficult. Liam George, good mark. Not sure if Steely Green or Daniel Wells. Had the karate, the karate headband too. Good grab, Steely Green. He's actually come into this game quite nicely. Oh, and a bit of a sidestep. Shithouse kick though. Good tackle. He let himself down with that disposal, but it was a nice mark, and he's getting involved at least. Yeah, GC, the Lawler one was a bit of a shit one, wasn't it? It just seemed like it was somewhat good mark. Somewhat inevitable with the way he moved and landed, that it sounded like it was going to be just that mechanism was always going to go, unfortunately. Yeah, Billy, they fought this out well. I mean, it was looking pretty grim early on, wasn't it? Cozzy, the big flyer again. See, that though, being able to just raise his arms and get through the back line there, that's not really okay, is it? Because now they're on a slingshot counter attack. Oh no! Oh. Geez, timely goal from the Cats. The most disappointing part about that was the player at halfback who was just able to walk through the middle of the half-back line. Someone had to lay body or a tackle there. That was just far too easy to exit like that. Still a long time to go, though. Still a long time to go. Trezai's in for Ross or Sonzi. Trezai has been playing some good footy this last month. I think long-term he'll be in the AFL for sure. I think it won't be for Ross or Sonzi, though. I think it'll be for Hugo, because Hugo will be out with a hamstring. Sonzi, I think, will hold his spot because of... I mean, he was going at 88%, right? I think we would be a little bit silly to drop the bloke who's probably got the highest disposal efficiency, even though he didn't maybe crack into a couple of contests like he should. The fact he was hitting targets in a team where we don't do it a great deal was probably worth its weight in gold in some ways. But due to different circumstance, yeah, he will hold his spot, and it'll be for Hugo undoubtedly. We've got to respond here. That's got snow on it. Good spoil from Tyler Young again. Rational Gibcus he's gone. He's playing. I shouldn't say gone. That probably wasn't the right word to use. I haven't seen him out there this last quarter. I think he's only got about 3 or 4 disposals. He's hasn't really been in a position to get bulk disposals. Has made some okay spoils. Took some uncontested marks down back. That's actually a crucial point, but yeah, hasn't really had too big of an impact, to be honest. Who has the best? Yeah, because he's been all right. See, Jason's going forward. I think he's putting his hand up to be the makeshift forward for the AFL team, and that only happened because Bauer went off. Yeah, I think Tyler Young's definitely putting himself in the right space to have another crack at AFL. And even before he got hurt last time, I thought he was playing quite well. And I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but he was very late to starting football. So he's still got a bit of a ceiling that is maybe a bit more unknown at this stage. So I'm all for seeing him come back in and play a role of some kind. "12 frames per second. I've shrunk my screen a bit so that clarity's a little bit better. Oh, Ralph Smith's mullet. It's still growing. I thought he might have cut it by now, but no, he's sticking with it. He's sticking with it. Yeah, Tiger Mars, I agree. I really thought that Tyler Young was doing really okay, really well. From memory, he had some big jobs on some key forwards and did an okay job. So, Number 6 just refused to pay that holding the ball. Then he got in position, realised it was a Cats player at the bottom, and then bailed. Snack packs had a bit of an impact this quarter. Need to compete. Taj is away inside 50 as well. That hurts. Tyler could be another hidden gem like Sam Banks. I think he's got something to offer. I guess the question becomes, though, at AFL level, is he going to be able to outperform or be better than like your Miller, Gibcus, Bolter, because they're the guys that are kind of in the way at the moment. Elnor, good mark. Free kick count is, where'd it go? 14-28, which should surprise nobody. Good mark from Steely. Taj just... How close is the Geelong player? Oh! Great kick from Taj. I thought he turned that over, but he could see the player leading. Probably should have had 50, to be honest, given how close that other player was, but no. Wrong colour Guernsey. He's jealous of anyone with hair. Yeah, CJ, look, you'd want to see obviously a bit more. It can be hard for defenders, but you look at Tyler Young in comparison, who's getting involved. I know that Gibbo's not out there at the moment. If he's kicked another goal, great goal. How good was the pass from Taj Hotton, though? Kicked it to the forward's advantage. That's a novel concept, isn't it, folks? Kick it to the forward's advantage while he's leading. Another novel concept for Richmond supporters to see. And you can actually, if you connect the two simultaneously, you end up with marks inside 50 and shots at goal and an accurate kick at goal. It's just funny how all those things, when combined, work really well, that we don't see very often at AFL level. And that was a blatant miss 50, 100%. Massimo, the centre bounce attendees for yesterday were Prestia, Taranto, Hopper, and Ross. No one else from a midfield perspective. No one else. They got some other people around the stoppages, so like Morris Jr., Seth Campbell and whatnot, they got some clearances around the ground, which was awesome to see, but not in the centre bounce. S-Mac, look, I know it's foreign territory. I might have to do a clip of how that actually looks because we don't see it too often as Richmond supporters. But, I mean, it just shows the importance of a player of Taj Hotton's skill, doesn't it? And that's why the Lawler injury is so much more disappointing, because he does the same thing. He actually kicks to the advantage of the forward. It makes such a difference. Oh, Flocker, the makeshift Ruckman takes a nice grab. Cozzie's lurking. He's smelling blood, Cozzie. 30-14 ad rock. What are we dealing with here? Yeah, Paul, look, the Gibcus thing, I know. Like, in 2 or 3 weeks' time, you'd want to see, obviously, some greater output. Today is literally just about getting on the park and getting through the game, which he seems to have done. I'm not too sure if he's going to get back out in the park, but we'll have to see. Yeah, Grok, I tell you what, when odds open up for the Rising Star next year, I'll be having a cheeky look at Taj Hotton, that's for sure. A cheeky fiver. Bet responsibly. Oh, Caleb Smith had to mark that. Got to shut him down, Shorty. Don't hold on, though. We are our own worst enemy sometimes. Still plenty of time. Oh, don't throw him. He just held on for too long. Ash, that's a good call. Hotton can't play for Richmond. He lowers his eyes and hits forward 50 targets. It's uncharacteristic. I'm sure we'll train that out of him soon enough. We can't have that. Get back, boys. Get back. Free money, Grok. I know. Hotton Brownlow. Adam, it's not out of the question just yet. Not out of the question. I might not load up on that one as much as the Rising Star. Oh, Elnor. You've got to mark that. Billy, that's not a bad suggestion. Tyler Brown in the back line and Tom Brown moved to centre half forward. That's not a bad shout. Again, there's honestly no right or wrong answer with what we should do in these next 5 weeks, especially without Bolter. I think Tyler Young's done more than enough over the last couple of weeks to get a look at AFL football if spots permit. I think it's a really good call. Good smother. We'll get you to the Bahamas next year. That's the dream, isn't it? That's the dream. Come on, let's work it out of there. Don't give away free kicks, though. He's lifted the arm there. That's got to be nearly holding the ball. Oh, go Street. Someone needed to just slap it on the foot there. Flockhart slapped it out of his hand then. That was nice. He's ducked as well. El Noor being held. Jesus. Adam, correct. Taj Hotton's been very good. 23 disposals, 5 marks, 7 tackles, 5 clearances, 1 goal. And he's hitting leading forwards. I'm not sure how familiar you are with how it works, but generally when we lower our eyes and kick to a leading forward, it can result in a shot on goal, which we don't see very often as Richmond supporters, and he does it really nicely, and it's something nice that we would love to see at AFL level. He's been good. He's been good. Nuclear Days. Tigers have Essendon next week. Absolutely nuclear days. And look, I know I was a bit bullish on getting him. Oh, Cozzy's taken another contested mark. Tell you what, not great handball, but... Oh, Cozzy. There's brain fade, though. He'd done so well and then just undid it in a matter of seconds. Oh, that's a behind. Oh, shit. Wow. Wow. And that just goes to show if you're El Noor, never give up. Like, credit to him, doesn't give up on the contest and still keeps pushing hard. That is a shithouse miss. That's worse than Cozzy's handball efforts in the middle of the ground. Well done, El Noor, for keeping himself in play. 24 minutes gone, though. We need to get moving. We need just get the ball to Taj. He'll do it for us. Oh, Cozzy over his head. Good pressure. We've got numbers here at the contest, though. Out of bounce. Taj is cooking. I want to see it next week. Agree. Luke McGuan, like. Come on. We need a late goal here. Where's Hotton? I'm getting antsy. I need to see him. Oh, there he is, seeing him half forward. Shorty, he just didn't go for that then. Tyler Young, very nice. Oh, Smith, please hold it. Thank you. Jesus Christ, if he dropped that, it was GG's. No idea how long's left. There's 25 minutes gone. He'd want to move the ball a bit quicker than what he's doing. Tyler Young, is he going to have a bounce? Oh, I thought he was going to have a bounce then. Go short, get it in. Central. Oh. Taj was setting himself for a fly then. That was a better centralised kick. We've got to press up here and find a man. It's got to be man on man. Last quarter went for about 34 minutes. I can't see this one going for 34 minutes. But having 3 Cats players to 1 Tiger at the moment is not ideal. Everyone's got to push up and find someone. Smith either had to mark that or do something a little bit better than what he offered. Oh, no. Good grab. You've got to get it moving, son. Got to get it moving. Go. Go. Wheel around and go. What do you look? Just go. Oh, no, we can't be going. I've got a long hair on my finger here. Come on, Shorty. You can't be just casually taking your time, son. You've got to go. Turn and go. Oh, Phonics, don't get us started. This number 6 umpire has been a knobhead all day. It's been ridiculous. Oh, Razzo, we've got to somehow find a target here. That is not a great handball. That's dropping the ball, though. Good free kick. Harry Scott. That's a shit angle, though. He's got a set shot that you're gonna. They've got too many numbers. You can't pass it. You're gonna have to take your time here. Wow. I mean, a score brings it to level. A goal hits the front. I know Grocky got very lucky that he followed up because that was a rubbish handball. This is a tough shot. This is what dreams are made of if he can slot this. He's kicked it! He's kicked it! What a goal. Wow. First time today we've hit the front. Harry Scott, that is as clutch as you get. Take a bow, young man. That is a great goal. Can he play AFL for us next week if he's going to kick clutch goals like that? Cozzy's got to go back and defend now, I think. Get some numbers behind the ball. Yeah, Andrew, that's a great shout. Let's get it to 70 likes now, folks. We're on 62 likes. Let's get it up to 70. Let's ride it home. Harry Scott's had 26 touches, 10 tackles, 5 clearances. He's had a hit out. I'm not sure he's managed to do that. Had a hit out and kicked a clutch goal. Oof. Can't be long left. The doozy. Yeah, what's his stat? Did he nominate for mid-season draft? Park the bus. Tar shot in the midfield. Oh, shit. Oh, Tyler Young. Keep possession. Keep possession. If we can move it up the ground. Yes! What a win! What a win. First time we hit the front in the last 45 seconds of the game. Excellent come from behind win, Tigers. That is unbelievable. Get around him. Get around him. What a game. That is so good. Let's get the W's in the chats for the win. Wow, Geelong will be gutted at that. They did everything possible to win that. I tell you what, old mate who missed the goal on the goal line and kicked the post will be absolutely filthy that he missed that. They should have had that sewn up. Harry Scott, take a bow with that clutch goal. Wowee. Unbelievable. And Tyler Young, super strong in defence at the end there. He stood up. So did El Noor as defenders. And Cozzy going forward as well to help out with Jacob Bauer going off the ground. What an effort he had up there too. Get that up your number 6. Eat it number 6. That's so good. Accurate kicking. Good kicking is good football. 14 goals for. When's the last time a Richmond side would have kicked 14-4? That is a wonderful, wonderful win. Last quarter, we kicked 5 goals. 5 goals 1 to 1 goal 3. 1 goal 2. Wow, what a win. That's so good. And we hit the 70 likes as well. Hit the 70 likes. Well done. Well done. We did them slowly, Ross. That's pretty much about it. Rational, Taj's last game in the VFL for his career. Chuck your thoughts in the chat. We'll read through all the comments. Accurate kicking at goal, eat him alive. Helen with the W. W, crazy what happens when you kick straight. By 6 devastated. Adrock, agree. Tyler Young's getting a lot of love in chat, which I'm happy about. I think he needs to be a strong consideration to come back in for sure. Vento didn't know Geelong has enough room in the salary cap to hire AFL lumps, but the VFL as well. Billy, Cozzy, Hotton and Young in. Paul Lee, Young was awesome, Peter. So does Cozzy and the scorching Hotton. Yeah, he was good. Amazing accuracy. Scoring shots 24-19. Shouldn't have even been this close. The one on the goal line, that's the killer. Good to get one win. 5 goals in 1 quarter, incredible. Harry Scott, yeah, he'll be getting looked at by a few clubs, I imagine. We'll take a look at the stats quickly. Lockie Wilson led the way for the Tigers, 27 touches. Jaden Short ended with 27 disposals, 14 marks, 4 tackles. I guess there'll be a bit of conversation about what that looks like and if it's worthy of a call up to AFL level with whether the impact was there. Harry Scott, the man of the hour, 26 disposals, 10 tackles, 4 marks, 5 clearances, 1 hit out, and a clutch goal with 45 seconds to go. Unbelievable. Caleb Smith, 24 touches, 8 marks, 1 clearance. Taj Hotton, 23 disposals, 5 marks, 7 tackles, 5 clearances, 1 goal in what could very well be his last VFL game. James Trezise, 22 touches, 8 marks. El Noor had a great last quarter, 7 marks for the game, 4 tackles, 20 touches. Tyler Young, 16 disposals, 7 marks, 2 tackles. He had a huge last quarter as well. Razzo, 16 disposals, 2 goals, 7 tackles. A very good game from Massimo. The whole team, even Cozzy, 14 disposals, 2 marks, 1 tackle, goes forward, kicks a goal, and just creates a good contest for us. I thought the Snackback had a really good last quarter as well too. 29 hitouts he had for the game. Bauer, 5 disposals. And Josh Gibcus was 4 disposals, 2 marks, 1 tackle, but obviously had very, very limited minutes. And I don't think he played at all in the last quarter, to be honest. So, bullshit, Grok. The Cats fans on Big Footy cannot be saying there were questionable calls. They have to be taking the piss. That is an absolute laugh if they're saying that. My goodness. Keep everyone in the twos. Let's go for the cup. Great Scots. Oh, I like that reference, Skoodush. Love a bit of a Back to the Future reference. Crazy the difference in game styles between AFL and VFL team. I think they're trying to play the same way. I think the VFL team's just performing at a better level and can execute the plan better because they're a better side in comparison to the teams they're playing against. Whereas at AFL level, it's a little bit the opposite, so it makes it a bit more tricky, doesn't it? It's a hard one. I get it. I get it. Scott has been on par with McCarthy. Alexander the Great, Cosy to come in seniors to provide us a decent marking target up forward. I think so. I mean, again, we lose Bolter. We've got to be a little bit creative. And Cosy went forward due to Bauer going down and gets the job done. Like, he kicked a goal himself, but he fought hard in the air, and that's all we kind of need to happen. So I'm definitely all on board for that to be an option for us, which would be a good thing. Tiger Mars, oh my God. El Noor. Yeah, I think El Noor's going to have to get a rookie spot somewhere. I just don't know if it's going to be with us or not. I think we've got a lot of depth in the defence part, but someone's looking at him surely. Michelle's up and about. Peter, I agree. I think Trezise will be an in for a Hugo. I think that rewards Trezise's good form for about a month of football. So I think that makes a lot of sense. I'd be happy for that. Short could play the wing with Ralph Smith out. It feels like Short and Trezise are fighting for that spot, to be honest. Short didn't miss a beat. He probably had 1 or 2 iffy kicks, but he did well when the heat was on at the end. So, and that kind of means a lot, I think. Short's game-saving goal. We must keep Batchelor in Richmond's system. Yeah, no, he's done well since stepping in, hasn't he? He's done very well. Cozzy's definitely earned him. I agree, Declan. I mean, I know Cozzy's obviously been a bit like he hasn't shot the lights out since coming to us. He's played a wonderful role at VFL in the defence for us and then goes forward and does a great job there. I think he's most definitely earned a call-up this week against the Bombers, because this is the thing, right? We play the Essendon game this week, and unlike the last month of football, it's a game that we should feel like we can win. It's a game we should feel like that we're in with a chance of winning. And to do that, we need a mature body up forward to compete. We can't go into that game with just kids up front now that Bolter's missing as well. And I think that means that Cozzy gets a call-up. I think it's as simple as that. I hope they do make the call because we're going to need it. We're going to need it. Oh, Alec Hotton's going to be a superstar. Just find himself in the right spots. Again, we talk about footy IQ, but just gets himself in the right spot at the right time and makes the right decisions. Kicks to the advantage of forwards, hits the leading targets, kicks a goal himself, does everything that we need players to do. So, yeah, Benjamin, 32 free kicks. Crazy. So, I mean, Rogue is competing against Miller, who's not getting dropped. He's one of our best defenders all year. Bolter, we know, is going to be playing in defence when everything is back to somewhat normal. Gibcus, long-term, should be playing in that type of role as well too. Jacob Blight would be another one he's competing against. So there's a few players ahead of him. I think he should get a go somewhere. I'm just not sure if it's us. Like, I would hate to pick him up as an AFL listed player to then keep playing him in the VFL. It wouldn't seem right. It wouldn't seem right. Yeah, Batch has done really well. He could be. Maybe he does get the call up in a couple of years, Bachelor, to join the coaching ranks. Peter, do we give Trainer a rest in the twos? I don't know. I think Trainer's been doing okay. He's still been getting like your 15 to 16 touches. He probably had a couple of shitty kicks on yesterday. But I don't know. I'm not sure if he needs a rest or not. Yeah, Michelle, definitely get some experience in the forward line. And Morgs, that's another really good suggestion too, that Jaden Short maybe comes in and Tom Brown goes forward. We did do a poll on that earlier, and the votes did suggest that people wouldn't mind seeing him forward. Not necessarily as a permanent move, but definitely as a makeshift move, because he is a nice mark, a nice shot for goal. That could be another way to throw some magnets around for sure. Skudoosh, move Blight forward, Taylor back and add Cozzy, or Trainer back and add Cozzy. Yeah, Trainer's definitely the least of our worries right now. I think that's a fair call. But there's definitely going to be some magnets to be thrown around. At least from this VFL game, we've been presented with some possible options and some alternatives of what it could look like for us against Essendon. Just need to make sure that we make the right calls. And Nuclear, while you are right that making too many changes can be counterproductive, unfortunately, we're looking at about 4 forced changes. We're going to be Lawler's a forced change, Ralph Smith is a forced changed, Bolter's a forced changed, and I think that Jasper Alga might struggle to get up on the back of his rolled ankle from the start. So we're conceivably looking at 4 forced changes at a minimum. So at the moment, I'd be looking at Cozzy to come in as one of those changes, Taj Hotton, Jaden Short, and James Trezise. I think they're your 4 inclusions, and then shuffle the deck chairs from there. I reckon that's... And Steely did respond well. I'd like to see Steely do that another week. Give me 2 weeks in a row of Steely having that type of game, and get some good confidence around it. But yeah, I think Nuclear Day, to your point, I don't think we want to go over and above the forced changes. 4 seems more than enough for any one given week. Let's just leave it as the 4. Darcy, what happened to Hugo last night? He did a hamstring. Injury. So I think someone mentioned before he had scans today, as did Lawler. So we'll find out the extent. But yeah, Hugo will miss, as will Lawler, as will Bolter. And like I said, I feel like that Alga might miss as well. Okay, Stevens is 2023, so he's bought his time for a couple of years. He looks solid though, doesn't he? I think it'll be a little bit annoying for Cats fans if he gets a bit unlucky with Smith coming back, but he looks good. Taj BOG against the Bombers. We've got to unleash him. I know there was a groundswell of people wanting to see Taj not play AFL this week, and I could completely understand it. I was most definitely being impatient. But I think now's the time. There's no excuse to not play him against the Bombers. He's ticked all the fitness boxes. He's now performed against the Bulldogs, the Cats, and the Bull Ants, so a bit of a spread against talent. But he stood up when the game was on the line, showed some great signs. The time's now, surely. We'll do a quick poll before we finish up. And I think I know where this one will land, but we'll do it anyway. Why won't it let me do it? Oh, because I still got a current one. What was the current one? We'll end that poll. Oh, there we go. I forgot about that one. Let's start a new one. Does Taj Hotton debut? So it's a pretty simple question. Does Taj Hotton debut against Essendon? I'll tell you what, if he debuts and is made sub, someone wrote it, someone will burn down Punt Road. That would be just the shittest decision of all time if we do that. We can't do that. We cannot do it. Given that, Uze said they don't like to make debutants sub, but they did for Elgar. And I do think it was a bit very circumstantial. I do think it was because of the late inclusion with McAuliffe being out. But being a level playing field, there is no way you're making Taj Hotton sub. Just couldn't do it. Bolter out CJ because of the curfew. He'll miss the next couple of weeks with the curfew. Taj Hotton time. We'll have things short in the middle and forward for a bit Darcy. Hey, I don't mind that either. There is no way that we can justify Short taking Sam Banks' role. But I can live with him taking Tom Brown's role if Tom Brown's a makeshift forward. I can live with that. I think that's okay. I think so, Nuclear. I think you do get the vibe that Taj will have a bit of a day out on debut. Fingers crossed anyway. There was plenty of people, Dan, that were saying no to Taj this week, and I get it. You want to tick one more box. I completely understand, but now I think we've got to unleash him. Just get him in there. No sub on debut. It's poo, Andrew. Agree. It'd be the perfect night for a debut. It is a home game. Yep, the Richmond versus Essendon game is a home game, and once there's wind of Taj Hotton debuting, he's one of those players that will put bums on seats as well. So he's a very exciting prospect. Taj and Sam will be the new Shane Dusty combo. Benjamin, I'd love to know how many goal assists for Hotton. Richmond's VFL X posted. Twitter also confirmed suspicions ACL for Bauer. That's so shit. He was looking better this game too, was Jacob Bauer. That is rotten luck. And you got to feel for the kid. You got to feel for him. But Hotton would have had quite a handful of goal assists today, and he was streaming inside 50 for another one, and then we gave away a free kick, unfortunately. But Jones Racing, what day do we see the debut video, the phone call to the family? It's a good question. Oh, look, Paul, I think it was okay to be excited about Hayesbound last week. To be fair, his last quarter today was quite good. I thought he actually asserted himself in the last quarter in a game where he probably got beaten for the other 3 quarters. So to see him stand up in the clinches at the end and dominate and get things going our way was actually impressive in a lot of ways. Obviously, it wasn't at the heights of what he did last week, but I thought it was a really promising sign nonetheless, given how he was beaten over the course of the game. Tom Hotton just has to debut at this point. Fans need something to inject some joy, and the lift it will give will be huge, I think. It'll be massive. Ballarat Tiger. Tyler Young was awesome today. He was awesome. He was really, really good in the last quarter as well, putting a stop to some forward attacks. Truthfully, I wouldn't be against him playing AFL footy. I think he more than fits into what we do in that system. Maybe do you swap Blight for Tyler Young? I don't know. Yeah, I reckon he's not far away from playing if a spot opens up. He's had a pretty good 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, Declan, it's definitely a sad story for Jacob Bauer. I mean, I'm not sure what's to come from here on out with him, but it's not good. It's not good. But look, we should see hopefully some new sparks, some new green shoots in the side this week. Wednesday will be the video. Skadoosh, you've gone Wednesday. Yeah, fair enough. Did people seriously vote no for Taj Hotton not debuting this week? Who's the 3%? 96%, yeah, surely that's a troll vote. Who's the 3% who said no to the debut for Taj Hotton? Young in, Blight forward for Bolter. So that's another way it could work as well. Young needs to be in the seniors. Jay-Z, I agree. I think he looks really good. Nuclear Days. Unfortunately, Bauer's gone down with a knee, and it's suspected ACL, which is not nice. Suspected ACL. Brad, short off halfback, Brown to the wing. Definitely an option. There's honestly no wrong moves at this point in time with what we have to do. Name names. Is number 6 voted no? Well done, everybody. Good pickup. Very good. Tyler has played with Miller a lot previously. Yeah, and like we all said earlier, that Tyler Young was doing pretty well in the seniors before he got hurt. So there's no reason why he couldn't come back in. But that might be a wrap because I'm starving. I've skipped lunch, but I appreciate all love and support. 141 people in here at the moment. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. 81 likes. Love the love and support. What a great win. I mean, come from behind victory. We were kind of done and dusted almost at half time. And we just chipped away. And yeah, to claw that back and get a 4-point win was outstanding. Taj Hotton had a huge game. Tyler Young, a huge game. And Harry Scott with the clutch goal at the end was unbelievable. It was a great performance all round. And GIBCUS didn't play at all in the last quarter. Hopefully better off for the run. But yeah, it was a day. It was a good day. Like, you much rather see those results. 14-4, it speaks for itself. So thank you to everybody for joining in today. Appreciate all the love and support as the boys come charging in. The Tigers won.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tigers won. Look at that, 88-44. Not sure why you're wearing a Hawks jumper though, just quietly, given that you're the... why have you got texture on you as well? Why have you got texture on you as well? What are you doing?
Dad.
My goodness.
Can anyone hear you?
They can all hear you, so you can say hi to everybody if you want. But have a wonderful day, everybody. We've got some football to go kick with the young fellas now. And I'll see you all on... So tomorrow night we'll have the live show, 8:30 p.m. There'll be some other videos going out. And yeah, I'll see you all on Monday night for the live. Until next time, go Tigers.
Can I see us?
They can see you. You can see you so they can see you.